I'ma keep it real with you. 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 Keep it real with you. I'ma 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 keep it real with you. Welcome to Brawlhalla.
Hello everybody and welcome to the final day of North America. We're here, we're going to be casting some doubles action. I am joined with my lovely, incredible co-caster, Polly. How you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing very good, Dora. It's been a super action-packed weekend, and even though the lack of sleep is starting to set in at this point, getting to see some of this phenomenal gameplay, I already know it's going to get me re-energized.
Lack of sleep. I think that's just a you thing. At this point, I'm feeling great. I woke up at 1 p.m. today. I got to sleep in. I love NA Sunday. It's so good in my ideal schedule. But yeah, everybody, we're going to be getting into top 32. We saw SA, we saw EU yesterday. On Friday, we got to see Southeast Asia as well as Middle East, North Africa. And today is the final day. Today is Sunday. So it's all just going to be top 32 into the top 8 of North America. So let's talk about some of the teams that we're going to be seeing in top 32 that we'll be seeing today. Right now, Java and Fakey, they took a set over Berserker and Brawlhalla to be able to make it into the top 8 qualifiers in winner's side. Anonymous Alex up against Walshy and Pugsy. Anonymous Alex is going to be teaming with Worthy. I believe that is going to be the set that's coming on up. Additionally, you have Balloon Boy and Hideaway. They took a set over Access and McLovin. You have Jinx and Wubs up against Simba Lampy, Experience Zen, Castlix Hardy, Megi Raish took it over Soul and Anime, Boo and Daddy Heiza over Cast and Donnie. And so we're seeing, like, you know, this is the base set of NA players. I think everything has happened so far according to seed. I don't think there's been any major upsets.
Yeah, and I was checking right before we went live because MENA and SEA, we had some really intensive storylines. And then also, of course, in EU, we had a large amount of upsets back-to-back in the tournament. I was checking through the bracket, and I'm not really seeing any large upsets yet. I mean, we saw a game 5 between Access, McLovin, Balloon Boy, and Hideaway going that to game 5, but no real victories yet. You say there is one?
Yeah, there is one, and that was in pools. Cody, Travis, and Stingray teamed together, and they got knocked down into elimination by Access and McLovin. So I feel like that's a pretty substantial upset in of itself. How do you feel about that one?
Yeah, and you know, seeing Access and McLovin going to game 5 against Balloon Boy and Hideaway, whenever I saw that, I was kind of wondering how that is possible and how that can be. As you mentioned that, though, it looks like they might be having a really good day. But what I was going to come back to, we've seen one upset in pools, right? Fairly large upsets, to be fair. But what I'm hoping is that the upsets are to come. It's just that we're getting them on stream now and not earlier in the bracket.
That's right. They saved it for us. They specifically thought about us, and they thought about giving us the best possible show. So yeah, we're going to be seeing Anonymous Alex, and then I believe Anonymous Alex once again is teaming with... Anonymous Alex's tag is so long that on like StartGG, it just crops out the name of the teammate. And so every time I just have to check. Yeah, Anonymous Alex and Worthy. And then we can talk about like some of the placements recently. They got 4th at the Spring Doubles Championships. They got 5th at the Winter Doubles Championships. And they also got 9th back in the Autumn Champs. So Anonymous Alex and Worthy, this is a team that you're consistently seeing place already now into the top 8. We're definitely seeing like a little bit of progression from 9th through 5th through 4th. And then the question is, will they be able to make an even better run today, or will they fall flat?
Now, on the other hand of things, Worthy is really a player that's been creeping up on me. I mean, Worthy, I just checked, he's been getting placements ever since like mid-2022, early mid-2022, and these placements have just fairly consistently improved as we've gone along, and he's already gotten 2 top 8s here in the beginning of 2024. Well, it's not really beginning of 2024 anymore at this point, but he's been sneaking into top 8, and you know, it's going to be fun to see if he's going to be able to get back up there.
That's right. And so, in the meantime, we're just waiting. We're just waiting for stuff to happen. We're waiting for everybody to go ahead and jump on into the lobby, so I do apologize for any potential delays. So, Polly, over the course of the weekend, especially with the EU, how do you feel about the events that have transpired yesterday?
Well, I feel like all in all, we've seen a very clear shift in the 2v2 meta. Now, of course, Axe has already been very strong, but especially in the EU side of things, we've seen Axe really been even further solidified in the top 8. And, I mean, if you were on Twitter yesterday, it was chaos. You know it, I know it, everyone knows it. Axe is really good right now, and I feel like that's my main takeaway. Another large takeaway is how up for grabs top 8 has been. We're seeing a lot of new teams being formed as well, and a lot of new players that are splitting up and disbanding their teams, unfortunately. MENA was a blast where FXL and Poa almost had a flawless tournament, only dropping 1 game. And on top of that, for their top 32 game in EU, FXL did a 900 damage game, which you might have seen on Twitter. I'm really starting to get excited about FXL as a player from MENA.
I'm excited to see the just spotlight that we now have on the entire region, right? We're able to learn a little bit more about the players. We're able to learn some more about some potential up-and-comers. Hopefully a couple of them will be making their way out to BCX, is at least the hope in my mind. But yeah, so it does not seem like we're going to be starting off with Anonymous Alex and Worthy. We're going to be starting off with Seabass and Truck Stop Burrito going up against Perplexity, and every single time I see the tag, I don't really know how to pronounce it. This is a question for the Twitch chat. I'm pretty sure it's Udea or Yuda, but I would prefer a nice typed out phonetic pronunciation. That'd be very, very nice. So that's going to be the upcoming match. It does not seem like there is a set history at all here, and I don't believe that these are teams that have teamed with each other before, besides Seabass and Truck Stop have participated in the Volleyball Fall Championship.
Now, this is a team that I'm very excited about seeing. Seabass and Truck Stop Burrito. I have a very fond first memory of Seabass. The first time I ever saw this player and ever got to cast this player was on the side stream at BCX this year when Seabass was absolutely trolling on the Teros. I am a big fan of both of these players, and I think they're going to have some serious upset potential moving throughout the tournament. Perplexity and Udiag are going to try to challenge them, though. What do you think about them?
So first of all, I just found out, thanks to Twitch chat, that it is going to be indeed Udea. So that's a lot of, there's a lot of contradicting consonants in that tag. So how do I feel about it? I feel like I'm actually not the most versed in seeing Udea play. I don't think I've had that many chances to actually, spectate and comment in matches, so I guess I'm excited about that. And if the character picks that we have predicted so far are correct, with the Rayman and the, the Orion, I feel like that's been pretty par for the course this entire weekend. We're seeing a lot of Orion picks, maybe a little bit more than usual. We're seeing a lot of Rayman, because you could, Axe and Twos is so solid, so consistent. Rayman's signature kit is excellent to have on hand as well.
Now, Udea, as you mentioned, going to be quite a strong player coming into this team now. They are quite behind in terms of the PR. PR 44 with Perplexity, who is all the way up in 25. But Perplexity believing in Udea, I mean, who are we to not?
That's right, wonderful. I guess we're gonna have to find out, but they're taking the sweet old time when it comes to actually going ahead and getting into the lobby. So there's not a lot for us to analyze at the moment. There's not a lot for us to talk about because none of them have locked into their legends yet. But I guess in the meantime, we can still continue a discussion about all the other stuff that we're seeing. For example, in elimination side, the team that I'm really looking out for is Markimu and Super Y, because Markimu had quite a couple of nasty upsets at the mid-season championships. That is definitely somebody that I do not want to look away from.
For sure, Markimu has definitely been making some waves, not only in top 8, but even further. In top 8 at LAN, that's further than top 8 at online, at least if you ask me. In 2v2 though, I'm immediately thinking Markimu playing Mordex. I'm not sure. That's not the player archetype that always consistently is super good in 2v2. I mean, if you're a phenomenal Axe player in 1v1, you're pretty much guaranteed to do well in 2v2 as well, right? But on the Mordex, he might have to swap Legend, and if he doesn't, having to cope with playing Mordex, which is not very common, might be a bit of an issue.
It's not very common, and then there's just always the inconsistency that is with Mordex. But then, on the other side of it, Scythe can be so explosive and disgusting off stage, and the amount of like follow-ups and the creativity that you have with the weapon. So, that is definitely the team that I'm going to be keeping my eyes on. But it does seem like everybody is now jumping into the lobby and filling it out. So we're seeing Perplexity on the Ahsoka, and Udea on the Ragnar. Okay, nice. So I feel like the pick from Perplexity is not one that we have seen all weekend. This entire weekend, every single team composition was always guaranteed Ogrim, guaranteed Bryn, guaranteed Rayman, or guaranteed Telos. We saw at least 2 to 3 of those in every single twos match, and the fact that we're seeing Ahsoka and Ragnar right now, completely atypical. This is some real creativity now.
Now, in combination, we haven't seen this, but this is actually, they're following the script, Dara. They're following the script. We're maybe seeing the return of Katars in some strange way in the 2v2 out of anything, because we have seen the Asuri and the Ragnar both were played in the South American side of things, which I also pointed out. Then I can't remember who played Asuri, but I believe it was Tavares who was on the Ragnar, and they made Katars look amazing in 2v2. So I'm certain Udea and Perplexity can do the same.
Is it a psyop that like Katars is not viable in twos? Because I feel like it's just an opinion that like people have, and then it's not very like explained or justified. Katars and light in twos is so good. It just sets you up. It puts you into such a nasty position, and it just has like so much team combo potential. I feel like it's just like Twitter discourse that people will say this.
I do also want to very quickly mention, whenever we were going over the other regions that have played, I skipped over South America, and there is a very good reason for that, and that is because I am heartbroken. I can't lie, I'm a massive Loris Kaina fan, but Wes and Vemetanquilo, I mean, they play phenomenally, and they definitely deserve the victory. Zac and Reaper Black as well getting second. The South American 2v2 top 18 is really, really exciting, and their gameplay is very interesting to see.
So, we're already seeing some of the legend lock-ins, we're seeing some of the legend picks. Of course, Truck Stop is going to be on the Telos, and Seabass, as you might have guessed it, is going to be on the Wushang, on the Angrabber. So, yeah, Wushang Telos. This is a team composition that we know and love in twos. Everybody knows Telos' lethality at any given point. That's going to be a Stomp Cider. That's going to be 4 Axe and Lights, maybe, and that's going to be the end of your stock. And Wushang will always be such an amazing pick and twos. He has an excellent signature kit, and Sig is both able to set up and really easily catch follow-ups. You have Spear with Sidelight to be able to start it off. Like, this is just classic twos. This is a classic twos pairing.
Now, I know that Seabass, of course, being a phenomenal Wushang player, the games that I've seen Seabass play the absolute best, or at least what comes to mind immediately, is when Seabass has been on the Teros. And to think that we're living in a timeline where we might get the double Katars against double Teros is absurd. So I'm very excited to see if it will come to that, but it's all going to start here as we now move into the first game.
That's right, we're getting into game number 1, and already Truck Stop picking up the hammer. Let's see what's gonna happen now. Seabass getting that sidelight, popping Perplexity off the side of the stage, and Light comes out. Nobody got any big follow-up started quite yet, until Udea. Oh my gosh, the attempted save, but it does not matter because the neutral layer still spikes.
And they're still going. Udea able to get it down with the dare. Seabass just barely enough options to touch that wall, but as soon as he does, Perplexity with that Katar Sayer. They were even trying to look for a new 2v1. They went back up onto stage to try and get another combo.
Okay, you know what? I am seeing the vision with double Katars, especially in the offstage. That was a nasty position for everybody on the blue team. They're finally able to fight back a little bit. Truck Stop lost that stock so early. I can't wait to see the graphs in the end, but that's going to be the side sig to be able to close that one out. Seabass looking for the neutral, looking for the D-Light. Udea being nice and patient coming back onto the stage.
At the very end as well, Perplexity immediately going for that Katar there offstage to try and set up for another offstage encounter. Even though that might have not led to much, you have this, at this point I wouldn't call it much of a lead, but you've definitely set up some conditioning on your opponents to be afraid of the offstage.
Everybody's stocks are flying. That's going to be another stop cider to close it out. Truck Stop really, really closing this and making this close for the blue team. Now, I gotta say, Perplexity is already on last stock party.
Yeah, already on last stock, and they're playing with no fear whatsoever. Immediately going for another Qatar read onto Seabass, which granted they're going to be getting it. So I mean, it's working out so far. Both Truck Stop and Burrito starting to get quite damaged here. I'm looking at Perplexity as well, getting edge guarded here by Seabass. He will be allowed to get back up, but if he loses his stock, I mean, that could be key.
Perplexity able to get the side as a get off me option, gets the end light as well. Truck Stop comes on in, but the neutraler ends up hitting his own teammate. So not that great for blue team's damage. But right now that is Teros. So whoa, that GCD light was crazy. Was that an intentional save?
Might have been, you never know. A lot of these weapon throws that you see that the pro players are able to save their teammates with. I always thought those were unintentional until I realized the pros are doing it consistently. So the Qatar deal, I mean, you're a Qatar main, you should know about those ones, I assume. Side signature almost taking the stock off of Perplexity as Seabass and Truck Stop Burrito are trying to close this game out.
Heo is taking Truck Stop for a run. He was taking him to the left side of the screen. Seabass was desperately trying to get in there and interrupt it. We're back to neutral, and Truck Stop is trying to cheese with the GCN sig. It didn't come out. Seabass sweating, able to still make it back down onto center stage. Perplexity holding onto that side sig, but then does end up getting punished for it. You get sandwiched. That's going to be Axe and Light into the end sig to close that one out.
Very quick knockout with the team conversion there. Truck Stop and Seabass getting the first game on the scoreboard. Truck Stop Burrito, 4 knockouts and 500 damage. Really allowing that hammer, I feel like, to shine with the knockouts. I'm waiting to see the damage numbers. But yeah, how do you feel about this?
How do I feel about this? You know, I love the way that this game opened off. When this game opened off, I was like, okay, I feel like we're gonna see something a little bit unexpected. I don't think Heo and Perplexity got to execute upon the game plan just as they did in the free stock. And then ultimately, at the end of the day, the thing that really made blue team work out is that Truck Stop was cleaning up stocks pretty early. It felt like anytime he connected a stomp, anytime he found a sider, it was able to find his target. And so, there was just no difficulty for the blue team to actually find any KOs whatsoever. And I think that brought them a lot more consistency than the red team.
For sure, I feel like the winning condition here, definitely. Perplexity and Udia, if they're able to get the enemies off stage, that is their winning condition. But literally any other circumstance appeared to be Seabass and Truck Stop Burrito's winning condition, because they can fight for stage control a little bit better. And with that, I mean, you're playing Teros and Bushang. Those Qatars, they were really just not able to get in on that. So if they're able to try and force them more off stage, or if they're able to start winning this stage control a bit more, then this could be a different story. But we're moving into the second game here, and we're going to see how they're going to try to adapt.
Picking up the guitars, finds a little neutraler. Truck Stop interrupting with that D-light. Little team fight breaking off in just a second. Perplexity dashing in, dashing out, looking through the opening. Misses the N-Light Seabass with no whiff punish though. Okay, Perplexity just switching up onto Truck Stop, setting up a juggle here, landing nice and safe back down with the down air. And now Truck Stop, okay, putting Perplexity in a pretty precarious position. Whiffing that signature, Heo! No! What just happened? That was supposed to be the punish.
The recovery gets the knockout all the way out as well. Seabass not able to close out the stock on Perplexity though. He's going to be keeping that one as they get knocked off to the side. Heo really wanted to go for a knockout there, but off of a side light, he couldn't go for any massive option without risking his own stock.
D-light, chase dodge, recovery to catch the dodge it. That was so nice. That was so clean in the heat of the battle. And that means that Seabass is going to be finally down to the second stock. Truck Stop and Perplexity, both stock tanking is what I would say until the sider doesn't ultimately end up closing it out.
I want to see that replay later from Seabass, the GC and Seki then on the gauntlets. I wonder if that was a bait for Truck Stop Burrito. Whenever they took that punish, you can just swoop in with a stomp there. Doesn't matter if he catches your teammates, he's light yellow. They just wanted to get that stock off. And I mean, it's showing. They're able to take these stocks off all right.
That's in there, gets that D-Sig and able to close it off the top, sliding off with that N-Light as well. Recovery, Perplexity is taking so much damage when it comes to the offstage. Heo coming to his teammate's rescue. N-Light, Truck Stop with no interruption though. Perplexity dashing in there and just making sure to keep the two of them separated. I do love how much red team is trying to split up blue team.
Able to get that Qatar Nair off the side to get the first knockout onto Truck Stop Burrito. Still 2 completely healthy stocks as Perplexity and Heo. They might have to play carefully here. The question is, Oh, Truck Stop Burrito actually joining
Oh.
Seabass quite soon here in the more damage percentages. Perplexity struggling though as we split up into 2 separate 1v1s. Scratch that, it's a 2v1.
Seabass backing off. Okay, just does not want to contest with Udea at all on the stage. Who's going to be whiffing that N-Light as well. Misses a D-Light. No stop connecting though, because Kataru's D-Light does put you up in the air. It puts you to safety. You get that N-Light. That's going to be the Woostrong D-Sig preemptively interrupted by that recovery.
Interrupting that signature with the recovery, which is also going to lead to the knockout. Very nice punish coming out from Perplexity. Side signature going to be catching teammate, but actually he's able to set up an offstage off of that. But as he tries to get back up, I mean, that's a team combo. Perplexity still finds to turn that interaction around though. No options!
That was supposed to be Seabass losing his stock, not Perplexity. So, you know, already busting out the taunt in the middle of it. And there it is once again. Axe and Light into the Wooshong Ensig. You know it. You've seen it. It is such a consistent way to be able to get KOs in a 2v1 setting. So, Paulie, what was that entire edgeguard sequence? What happened to Perplexity?
I really think that Qatar recovery was supposed to save their teammates instead. And by hitting the enemy, I mean, you're not saving your teammate and you're now just alone with 2 enemies above you, since the Qatar recovery hits them upwards towards you, right? And you're by the wall. It's definitely a situation you don't want to be in. I wonder if we're gonna have time to see it. Oh, we probably saw it, but I just missed it.
So.
But we're going into the next game immediately. Either way, I feel like the main takeaway, Perplexity and Udea, we've seen a lot of things work out very well for them. The thing is that in a 2v2, there's just so many weaknesses that you can try and exploit. And Seabass and Truck Stop Burrito right now showing that they're able to find these weaknesses in their gameplay and they're exploiting them so well.
Oh,
Look at that offstage play, Seabass immediately.
Into the neutral zone. That was crazy,
Nice
and
recovery.
I can't believe that didn't KO. Why the neutral instead of the side is my question.
Oh! Seabass was like yellow and he can't come back. Why not? Because Udea's keeping him busy. He's keeping the teammate busy with this massive Qatar string. What a nice set of interactions from the red team of a Truck Stop. Burrito's gonna be able to close the stock off with a D-Sig anyway.
Ooh, D6. He took out both stocks of the D6. He is not having any trouble KOing at all. He lands onto the stage and he always finds his target. Udea coming back on. Now going to be looking for perhaps a little downer. Just trying to get above Truck Stop, waiting for a whiff, looking for an opening here in neutral. Truck Stop is now mixing up, going for GC sidelights to catch the landing instead and make it as difficult as possible to approach him. Seabass committing off stage with a slide off D-Sig, goes out there for the ground pound, goes out there for the ground pound again, and I can't help but feel like Perplexity stock is about to be gone.
Truck Stop Burrito able to sweep in with a side signature to take the stock off of Udea. Truck Stop Burrito's doing such an amazing job at tanking these stocks. I mean, he's 2 stocks wide right now, but he's keeping that level of patience where he's incredibly useful to his teammate while just being super safe. That side sig is not very safe, but they're not able to find a punish. That scared me.
Oh! Truck Stop is going for it. He gets the D-Light. He gets the recovery. It's just going to be some good damage. And now he's controlling the stage. Seabass is down so low, down so deep. Truck Stop jumps out there, gets the neutral to just basically switch the tides and help out his teammate.
Yeah, nice way to protect your teammates. They're going off stage with them as you try and clear your way above them. Now, 4 stocks against 2. This is starting to look really, really rough for Udea and Perplexity. I mean, they need to get both of these knockouts, and then they need a team combo. It's the only way they can win at this point. They don't find it. Udea goes down, and this is 1 stock versus 3. Perplexity is gonna have to make a really, really rough 1v2.
You gotta somehow connect that D-Light to be able to get the stock. You get the neutral D-Light recovery. Perplexity off stage with so few resources. Weapon toss, GC D-Light. Oh gosh, Perplexity able to still come down and around the stage. And now that's gonna be the 2v1 combo. I don't think Perplexity can make this. Actually?
Trying to go for the GC side signature all the way down. I mean, still, it's going to be incredibly difficult. Seabass and Truck Stop Burrito almost just playing with their food at this point. GC side all the way down there. GC Ensec Perplexity is punishing them for playing with their food. That's a stock on 1v2. Truck Stop Burrito needs one hit to get this. But Perplexity, I mean, he's punishing.
Okay, weapon toss and then an unarmed headlight catching Perplexity dashing in. Why not? Truck Stop now picking up the hammer. All that he needs is a single D-Light. He just needs 1 falling sider. He's going through the D-Light now. Truck Stop knows how much aura he has. He knows how much presence he has. He's just stepping up. He gets the call out with the neutral and taking away any hope that the red team could have had.
Perplexity and Udia getting sent down into the elimination side. Probably fired up after a 1v2 like that. Truck Stop, Burrito, and Seabass. A wonderful showing is gonna progress them in the tournament, as they're now at their qualifying match for top 8, which is going to be streamed on the mainstream.
That's right. So really good job to Perplexity and Udia. They're going to be knocked down into the elimination side. Truck Stop and Seabass will be moving on. The biggest things that I wanted to note about Truck Stop and Seabass, honestly, they were just consistent, right? They were consistent. They were able to get all the different KOs that they needed. They never struggled to actually find a KO. Whereas with Red Team, you know, especially given like the difference in the weapons, given the difference in the damage and the force, they could not find those KOs as easily. Every now and then, though, they could get a really crazy stock off stage, but otherwise, there was a certain consistency that the blue team's composition brought onto the board. There is a reason why everybody's playing Bushong and Telos and twos. I mean, Truck Stop always on the Telos, but still.
I mean, we saw some real moments of excellency coming out from Perplexity and Udia. I'm of course specifically thinking of the very first stock of like the entire set. It just feels like, you know, their win condition and their strat is potentially a little bit fragile, and against players like them, they're able to dismantle that, and they're able to knock him down. Either way, I'm going to be interested in seeing how they're going to perform in the elimination side. They are currently going up against Brawlhalla and Blazy for, what is that going to be? That's going to be their 25th game.
There's so many blazes in Brawlhalla that I've completely lost track of them all. There's like 5 that I know of at least. But yeah, so once again, really good stuff to Seabass and Truck Stop Burrito. Gonna be moving on throughout the bracket. Seems like Reachable and Daddy Heizo, they took it over Cast and Donnie. Megdi and Radish are still waiting on the winner of Experience and Zen up against Costelix and Hardy. Simba and Lampy are up 1-0. They're up 2-0 against Jinx and Wubs at the moment. Hideaway and Balloon Boy, they took it over Access and McLevin. And then coming on up is going to be Anonymous Alex and Walshy with Pugsy. I have not gotten a chance to see Pugsy play in quite some time, so I'm quite excited about this.
Yeah, and I mean, we have already hyped up this matchup quite a bit. This is the matchup that we thought we were going to be starting with, but it looks like there may have been some form of issue. The players should be ready this time around, though. And yeah, how are you feeling?
How am I feeling? I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling a little excited for this set. Once again, just because I really, really like watching Pugsy play. If Pugsy's going to be on the Jala, that'll also be really, really exciting. Jala is such a glass cannon, right? I feel like that is the narrative with her that we always talk about. Excellent signature kit, especially in a 2 setting. She can be lethal. But also, on the other hand of it, Jala could also be the complete opposite of that sometimes. Especially if Anonymous Alex and Worthy are playing Zol and Teros, and Pugsy is playing Jala. Pugsy is gonna, like, explode, is what's gonna happen.
Yeah, for sure. We are currently not seeing Pugsy on the Jala, however. Now we are only in the loading frame, so of course there can still be swaps. Currently I'm seeing Pugsy on the J-Yun.
Okay, great, wonderful. Now's gonna be the best time to pick Great Sword. I think, is my client bugging? I don't know, the screen's just completely frozen for me. So I don't know if they're locking in. So we're going to be seeing potentially double Telos from Anonymous Alex and Worthy, which is kind of ridiculous. That means that a lot of stocks are going to be flying quite fast. We're going to be seeing Walshy on the Kaya.
We're going to see the Kaya indeed. I just had to pull it up because I wanted to make sure I don't get the placement wrong. Trial of Heimdall. I feel like this is really the elephant in the room that we have to address. Pugsy got 3rd. Pugsy, I don't know if he's been grinding or if he just decided to play this game incredibly competitively again. You don't just get 3rd like that. He beat some really, really impressive players, which was only, I mean, it was last weekend, right? Time flies.
That's right. It was only last weekend, and he had quite an amazing run. And so I guess I'm just happy to see him back. I haven't had a chance to cast one of his sets in quite some time. So we're seeing the pick onto the Kaya. I feel like after the, you know, like Kaya changes, a lot of the narrative sort of became about like, oh, SA is really, really embracing Kaya, especially, I believe it was Lotus, and we saw what Kaya could do in a 2 setting. You have a lot of incredible edge guarding tools. You can make it really difficult for them to get back onto the stage with Bo, as long as you're being nice and patient on the stage. But that is 2 Teloses on the screen. Polly, how do you feel about this team composition specifically? How do you feel about double Telos?
I mean, I was just about to say, not only the Kaya, but also the Greatsword is an attribute, or rather a weapon that we're seeing more and more often in both NA and SA that we don't really get to see in EU. And being able to see that they're picking up on some of these things that the South Americans are doing, I mean, it's evidently been working. Double axe is something I'm a bit more familiar with though, and so far it's not really looking that good from my side.
Pugsy coming back on with the side, able just to swat away Anonymous Alex and giving Walshy the opening. D-Light neutral. Anonymous Alex has such a long way to climb to be able to make it back onto the stage. Walshy commits to the down and it was unsuccessful. Worthy looking for a way to land, looking through the GCN sig. The weapon toss actually kind of saving Walshy's angle there, just sort of interrupting his momentum and keeping him in place. The side comes out and that's going to be the stock.
Anonymous Alex with the instant ground pound, well, almost instant ground pound on the landing. One of the quirks on Axe that are actually very strong, but you actually don't see almost anyone use them. Anonymous Alex throwing the enemies off guard with that one. It definitely threw me off guard, which is why I got so focused on it. Pugsy starting an offstage interaction here. Anonymous Alex wants to help Worthy out, but Walshy pushes him offstage as well with that spear. The pressure that Pugsy and Walshy are outputting right now is crazy.
Okay. And Pugsy's going in against Worthy. Worthy has not been able to play the game in so long. Finally able to reset neutral, but doesn't have a weapon in hand. Pugsy is cornering him. The GC Light immediate finisher. Amazing stuff to be able to catch him on the ground. That GC Light, it is such a deceptive option for Greatsword because you don't really expect them to cover that kind of space so quickly.
I mean, a double terrace composition is like one of the best things that you can have whenever you have control. And how is Walshy and Pugsy gonna make sure they don't get control? Well, right now it looks like they're just holding W. They're just going forwards, constantly pressuring the enemies. And Pugsy almost going down to that one though. A 1v2 situation, but Worthy actually decided to go for the off stage instead, and it's gonna lead to 2 knockouts.
Okay. The down into the recovery as well, that was amazing. You get the scoop and then you get knocked off the top. And now all of a sudden, Anonymous Alex and Worthy, you can never count out Telos. You can never count out that damage output. And you can never count out the survivability. Pugsy on the ground. Okay. That coverage was ridiculous.
I mean, you can definitely count out Worthy and Anonymous Alex now, because they are going to be reaching 0 stocks across the board as Pugsy and Walshy are picking up the first game. Pugsy, I mean, we mentioned it earlier, Pugsy, it's the elephant of the room, getting 3rd in the most recent 1v1 tournament, and just already in this first game, what an amazing showing from him.
Yeah, that was an excellent showing. The combos was fantastic. I gotta say, I love the Jayun pick. He is really putting down the pressure. He is getting close to Worthy, and he is not letting go. He's making sure to keep both of the Teloses really, really stuck in disadvantage for extended amounts of time. So, given the way that Game 1 went, especially with Hammer, that is a weapon that benefits sometimes just like standing on the ground and holding your space because of how much space you can cover with Sidelight and the sheer amount of pressure that D-Light has. And I don't feel like Red Team was able to establish themselves in that way. That really super powerful, grounded gameplay where you feel like you can't approach Telos, I don't think we got to see any of that.
For sure, and I mean, Walshy and Pugsy, they're definitely playing the right weapons for the task as well, and the way that they're robbing Worthy and Anonymous Alex of that space has been beautiful so far. Looking potentially, if Worthy and Anonymous Alex decide to play a little bit more aerially, especially on Axe, that could definitely change the tides of battle here. But we're moving into the second game, and so far we're seeing Walshy and Pugsy getting the better of Anonymous Alex and Worthy on these initial trades.
Okay, Worthy not able to get the whip punish in time. Anonymous Alex off stage. Pugsy just going to be backing off for a second and now picking up the axe. You get the pogo, and that's going to be 1 stock gone off the top. That's going to be another downer into the weapon toss as well. That spear weapon toss is so huge. That horizontal hitbox on it, it is so wide.
like 3 or 4 spear dares only for the teammate to come in with a sword there. That's a tilter right there. Very well played offstage interaction from Walshy and Pugsy sweeping in there at the end. They're able to take both of those stocks off. Walshy is going to be joining them on that second one. Pugsy now the only one with 3 left to his name, and he is playing quite aggressively here. He is not afraid of using this stock in any way he needs to. Finds the side signature, and now he's diverting his attention over to Anonymous Alex instead.
He is target switching, he is playing 2 super effectively here, and now I think the plan with that side sig was hopefully Walshy would be able to cover behind him and at least get a counter hit onto Anonymous Alex, and then Walshy's D-sig never actually ended up connecting. So I like the attempt, I like what they were going for, but they weren't able to get it off. Unfortunately, that N-sig does not connect, but it does not matter because Anonymous Alex down to his last stock and Worthy gonna be soon to follow.
Anonymous Alex trying to fend for his own here as he waits for Worthy to respawn. He's on the hammer. He needs to get back on stage. Walshy not committing to that edge guard, instead trying to go for a 2v1. It's not going to lead to anything massive. And just look at that, the way that they move. Even in footsies, they both went over to the right-hand side just to see if maybe he would panic and go off stage. Then they have a free edge guard.
Okay, looking for the sider, able to get the D-Light sider. Is that going to be enough? Walshy in such a nasty position off stage. And you know what? Pugsy kind of set Worthy up to connect that recovery. That is the only way that Hammer could have gotten a spike. And now, Worthy looking for a way to be able to make it back on. The downer solidifies it, but Anonymous Alex with the amazing save. He got out there. Does that save the red team? Do they get this game now?
And it could have been a team combo onto Walshy, but Anonymous Alex wasn't able to close out the sideline there. It's a 1v2 now. Anonymous Alex down in red, and he's going to have to try and land against the Great Sword and a bow. It's going to be a tough task. It's going to be a tall order. He's struggling so far. The GCD light is going to be enough to close out the stock, and that's 2-0 on the scoreboard.
That GCD light is so huge. It covers behind you as well. It covers in front of you. It is just the best way to be able to catch a grounded opponent like that. But Polly, there was a little bit of hope there for a second. That was a really, really scary game. When he went out there and went to go save his teammate, there was a chance that red team got back on because he could never count out Teros. But ultimately, I love the synergy that Pugsy and Walshy have. I love just how much they're covering each other's space. They're making sure that, you know, hey, if I'm committing to this, my teammate is always behind me and covering it. And then they're able to get some really solid team combos as well.
I feel like Walshy and Pugsy, I mean, they weren't succeeding that much off of the pressure as they was in the very first game. Of course, the pressure is still very prevalent, and it's one of the driving factors of their success. But at this point, as we mentioned, I mean, we're starting to talk about a little bit of conditioning. And Anonymous Alex and Worthy, they might start to lose their confidence here, which is definitely not what you want to see.
Walshy holding on to the ground here, backing off a little bit, just waiting for somebody to whip something so he can get a punish. Pugsy committing off stage, and then Worthy swooping in there with the recovery and taking Walshy off the top.
Such a quick stock. We were barely able to commentate what happened, but Walshy is going to be going down. Pugsy now on orange. He's able to get that recovery into Anonymous Alex, freeing up some space, but they keep getting sandwiched. They're sandwiched like for the past 10 seconds.
They keep finding themselves in the center, they keep finding themselves stuck in there, and right now, Worthy, oh no, putting Anonymous Alex in an awful position, comboing into Walshy's sider as well. Anonymous Alex cannot hope to make it back onto the stage. That was such a tragic case of friendly fire. Red team set up that stock for the blue team. They made that possible.
I mean, so far, Anonymous Alex and Worthy, they're doing a really good job in these footsies here, and they're definitely much more successful in the neutral game plan than they have been in the previous 2 games. Now, Pugsy and Walshy, if they're able to adapt to this in a time, they might be able to get a 3-0 here. But only time will tell. Worthy and Anonymous Alex, it's a fairly even game if only they can get this knockout onto Pugsy. What a chase dodge to avoid that in air.
Okay, that was a lot of pressure, that was a lot of damage. The neutral league finally does it. Walshy avoiding fighting himself sandwiched. You saw Worthy with the preemptive side sig. He was ready for Anonymous Alex to send a D-Light side of an opponent to him, and then it just never ended up connecting. Really simply put, I feel like Pugsy is winning every single 1v1 interaction. He is just outplaying all of his opponents in neutral.
I mean, he got third at time, though. I guess we're starting to see why. Pugsy definitely excelling on that front so far. But Worthy and Anonymous Alex, they're about to knock his teammate out as he goes down into red. Pugsy is able to get Anonymous Alex down, but the Teros is going to quickly return the favor.
BC D-Light into the recovery. That is Pugsy closing. Pugsy is bringing so much consistency to the blue team, and they don't really have to worry about Telos living for too long. The D-Sig does come out though. Walshy is running away for dear life. Landing with the neutral at least buys you some time for your teammate to come back down. Pugsy now with the great sword. Double chase dodging after hitting his own teammate. A little bit unfortunate, and Anonymous Alex is landing so many hits against Pugsy.
Yeah, Anonymous Alex, massive string there, and he kept the pressure up as well. It could have set up into an off-stage interaction, but didn't want to make any large commitments there. Was she able to get back up? Going to be interrupting that ground pound with a bow recovery, actually.
Okay, gonna be setting him off stage at such a nasty angle. Is the weapon toss gonna be able to do it? Yes, it will. The recovery at the expense of his own teammate. Worthy, you have to make the sacrifice worth it. You took out your own teammate. Can you now make this comeback? Can you do this for your fallen brother? Or is that gonna be the stock? And yes, it will be. D-Light Cider into the Cider combos. He had a chance. He sacrificed his teammate. He had to take out one of his own, and it still wasn't enough.
Now I want to look at these. I want to look at the replay for that final one. Even though it did ultimately lead to their defeat, I have to say, not hesitating and just knocking your teammate out. Seeing that the only way that we can make a play is if I literally knock out my teammate. I mean, the recovery could have hit Pugsy, but it was much more like it would have caught their teammate. To not hesitate in a situation like that, it would have been a massive MVP play. It would have been a 2000 IQ play, but unfortunately the 1v2 proved to be just a little bit too difficult. Walshy and Pugsy. You mentioned it earlier. Pugsy is winning every single neutral interaction by the looks of things, and Walshy, Walshy is also popping off, doing the bulk of the damage in this game.
For sure. But yeah, again, that is just something that I've like noticed in every single 1v1 exchange that I saw Pugsy, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. He is outspacing, he's outmaneuvering, and he's being a lot more patient in advantage state. And then Pugsy and Walshy, whenever they did come together, they were able to find no like really crazy super long combos. I don't feel like Bo in twos is able to do a lot of that. Unless Pugsy was on sword and Walshy was on spear, only then they would be able to, but otherwise their damage output was great, and they did not have any issues KOing at all. And that is so important when you're going up against maybe the most consistent KOing legend, which is Telos. You need to be able to match that, and they had no problem with that whatsoever.
Yeah, Walshy and Pugsy showing an amazing counter to the double Teros, which is a very feared double Teros. I mean, you're looking at a PR 16 and 18 to, we just changed graphic, but Walshy and Pugsy were a lot higher. I can tell you that. I saw 60 in there.
Yeah, you saw 60, I think I saw 30-something as well. So that means that Pugsy and Walshy will be continuing the run throughout the winner's side of bracket. And then coming on up is going to be, let's see, who will the opponents be? It seems like they have to fight against Java and Fakey. That's going to be happening on the mainstream. Balloon Boy and Hideaway up against Jinx and Wubs, also on the mainstream. So everybody, Polly and I will be going over to a quick little break. When we come back, we will be back with some top 32 elimination side matches. So don't go anywhere quite yet, and we'll see you soon.
What's up, Brawlhalla, and welcome back to the stream. You're watching the Summer Doubles Championship, and this is the final day as we're taking a look at the North American side of things. We have just came off of the winner's side in top 32, and we're now going to be progressing down into the elimination side, and we will stay here until it gets fully swapped over to the mainstream. My name is Polymonto, and I'm joined here by Dara. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Yeah, we got to see Pugsy and Walshy play twos, and it was lovely. It was an excellent exhibition of Jayun and twos from Pugsy and then the Kaya from Walshy. And so I'm really excited to see how they're going to do throughout the rest of today. But if you'd like to see more of them, that's all going to be happening on the winner's side, and thus that will be happening on the mainstream. For us, it is time for us to now go plunge into the depths of elimination bracket. And I'm trying really hard not to be distracted by the fact that I have hair in my eyes right now, but it's kind of driving me insane, and you will never have that issue, Polly. So coming on up is going to be Soul and Anime going up against Cody, Travis, and Stingray. And you might be like, hey, why are Cody, Travis, and Stingray in elimination side to begin with? It's because they ended up getting upset. And the team that upset them, if I'm not mistaken, is Access and McLovin.
Yeah, Axis and McLovin, they have been on a spree so far in the tournament. Now, I do want to make sure, yes, they are, they are not in the winner's side anymore, but they went to Game 5 against Balloon Boy and Hideaway. Anyways, the focus is on Stingray and Cody Travis going up against Soul and Anime. This is going to be a very exciting game for me, Dar.
It'll be one for me as well. Soul and Anime, they got knocked down in winner's side up against Megi and Raish, which is probably one of the best teams that NA has at the moment for us. So yeah, Cody, Travis, and Stingray. Cody Travis is going to be almost exclusively on the Baratza, and one of the only people playing blasters at all at the moment. Blasters can be such a devastating twos weapon because of how much it controls space. You get a D-light, you get an N-light, you get a downer, and then you give your teammates so much time to be able to follow up off of you. Now, on the other hand, we have Soul and Anime, who I think will have no issue at all finding stocks. You're going to be seeing the Onyx from Anime. Onyx is quite the infamous twos pick. Why? Well, you have some excellent signatures, you have some excellent defense, which means that you will just be on the screen for a very long amount of time. Anime is not going to be getting knocked out anytime soon.
I think this matchup is going to be very interesting because it really feels like we have two brains going up against two muscles. I mean, Cody Travis being a veteran player at this point, 43 top 8 is nothing to scoff at, and then also Stingray being one of the most established coaches for the game is definitely both players with a very deep understanding of 2v2 as a whole. Anime PR12. Anime has been grinding, Dara. I've been checking out Brawlhalla, and I've seen this guy at the top for like the majority of the season so far. I'm not sure if it was like 2 weeks into the season. He already had like 300 games in 1v1 or something like that. And so he's definitely coming in with the muscles. And the Soul is literally, at least on this graphic, he's on the Soul.
Also, Polly, I gotta say, I think it is so funny that you call like Cody Travis a veteran, or just like in Brawlhalla, that a veteran for this game is like a guy in his early 20s, maybe like 20 years old at all. And other fighting games, like, oh, he's been in this scene, he's been in this game for a long time, and they're like 40 with a wife and kids, you know? And I just think that change in perspective is so funny. Anytime that
everything is relative, and I just want to point out the fact that Cody Travis has more medals than Anime and Soul have top 32s combined, and I think at that point you definitely deserve the veteran title, which is the veteran title. According to me, the veteran title, the OG title, is a prestigious one.
You know the Club Penguin over 18 image, where he's just, yeah, completely ancient. That's him at the moment. So we're gonna be seeing Cody on the Jala, so no blasters to be found at all. That is not a pick that I'm expecting at all. How do you feel about a Jala pick going into this?
Well, I'm excited to see how it's going to work out. I'm not going to speak too quickly. I'm not one to not believe in Cody Travis. We're also not seeing Soul on the Zol, which were shown by the graphic. We're seeing the Wushang instead.
We'll see how it ends up working out. At the moment, Soul gonna be looking for that N-Light unsuccessfully. Cody Travis double chase dodging, able to get that N-Light as well. Backing off and onto the ground, able to get a downer. Gonna be looking for the next one onto Soul. Connecting the GCD sig, and that does actually end up KOing Stingray.
Trying to get a double gauntlet combo started. Soul not able to find that GCD light. Oh, able to get that follow-up off of the Nair though. Soul and Anime, these gauntlets are working wonders for them so far.
Okay, that's not going to be the stock off the top quite yet. Jala somehow surviving anything at all ever. Okay, that's going to be one recovery. That's another one. Again, Cody Travis still hanging onto the stock. That is not going to be enough to close it out quite yet. Tries to come in with the side A. Anime finds a side A of his own. And Cody just going to be opting just to go to the blast zone and get back onto the stage as soon as possible with the new stock.
Anime, very nice interrupt onto Stingray such that he's not able to complete that true combo. Anime going for only the raw sidelight, not even a read attempt afterwards, because he knew that Stingray would be right there ready to punish him if he were to do that. And what a team combo they set up as well. Anime and Soul, I mean, they are slowly but surely, they're starting to build themselves a pretty significant lead here, Dara.
Sidelight recovery off the top. Cody now has to fight a little 2v1. Will he be able to get anything off you? Nope. He gets both of them out of there with that end light. Amazing whip punish. I cannot believe that cannon end light did not connect from that distance. That's going to be one stock gone off the side. Look at this team combo. And Soul took a lot of damage just now.
Cody going for the GCD sig down there, as Soul is going to be able to start a combo onto Stingray, and I'm almost starting to see a bit of targeting here, which makes sense. Stingray is at his last stock in orange at this point. Anime stuck now in a brief 1v2, not afraid of the team combo whatsoever.
Oh my gosh, but that's just going to be it. That's now going to be Cody knocked down onto his last stock. Soul looking super healthy, and Anime continuing to stock tank. That is what Onyx does best in a 2 sending. Stingray using the neutral layer to get back onto the stage. He's being really patient. He's going off stage, but look at what's happening to Cody on the left.
Stingray getting pushed off as well, but the side signature is going to be enough to get the knockout. They can find this team combo. They have one glimpse of a moment, one window of opportunity. They're not able to find it. Soul is going to be able to stay safe, but the double recovery is almost enough to get a knockout. The comeback is starting to look more and more possible, Dara.
Can't believe that axe recovery didn't KO the orange. Broken weapon needs a buff. Broken in the bad way, explicitly. Nice whip punish on that Wuxia against it. Cody gonna be looking for the ground pound. And then, actually, it's gonna be Soul finding a ground pound of his own. The weapon toss enough to solidify it. And blue team clutches that one out.
The double weapon throw, just weapons raining from the sky as he's trying to get back onto the stage. Not going to be able to do that. They're grabbing that first game, but I really want to say, Stingray and Cody Travis, I mean, toward the end there, we were really seeing some goodness. They were closing into that lead, and there was some real comeback potential there. And look at this, Stingray's last stock red. There was no difference in his HP between those two screenshots. 2 stocks against 4, and until the final 1v2, there was no difference in his HP. He tanked that for so long.
What happened to Stingray? What happened to Stingray that last stock? That was so shortly lived. So pitiful. But now we're going into the next game. We'll see how this one ends up happening. We're going to be seeing the switch on the stage here. Cody, okay, just looking to be able to get that neutral. They're setting up that juggle onto Soul, and everybody is scrapping at the moment.
I mean, I'm already thinking, you know, with the number of things that went wrong in the very beginning of the first game for Stingray and Cody Travis, such as Stingray going down so early, if you're able to work on this, if you're able to adapt in these select areas, then well, this could be an entirely different dynamic here.
And light as a get off me option. Stingray, the D-Sig does not connect on either of the opponents. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that didn't connect either. Soul gets the N-Light, Anime able to follow it up off the top. That was an optimal combo.
Oh, tries to go for the combo, tries to go for the follow-up, but not going to be interrupted just before it's going to connect. Now, the offstage situation is set up. Anime, they're going to allow Anime to get back up. They don't want to go offstage, risking potentially getting pushed down by Soul, which was just respawning.
Now it is Stingray who is stock tanking for the red team. Let's see how much extra credit he's able to get. Well, the answer is not. The teacher did not allow any extra credit for this semester at all. That stock is gone thanks to the recovery from Soul. And now we'll see what happens for the rest of the stock.
Oh, Cody Travis! Cody Travis was already preoccupied with the N-Light. He N-Lighted in the other direction. He was trying to play neutral when he should have been trying to look for a position that could have been a game-changing opportunity. But unfortunately, Cody Travis not on the same page as Stingray there.
Yeah, that could have been it. That could have been a very pivotal moment for the red team. But now, you know what? All they did was they dropped a potential lead. But now the question is, how do they secure the one that they have already built up for themselves? Anime using the side as a way to get back onto the stage here. You get the side light, no recovery follow-up quite yet. The NSYNC ends up connecting onto Stingray. Cody, so deep off stage. Soul not even going to mess with it because they just want to focus on Stingray on the stage instead of going super deep for Cody Travis.
I mean, they're focusing on Stingray. Meanwhile, Cody Travis, he's able to chase him down while there's tunnel visioning. He got that GC sidelight into the Seer, which, to be fair, I don't believe neither of which led to a knockout. Definitely not the sword sidelight. I haven't seen any of those knockout previously in my Brawlhalla experience. But okay, Soul getting something started with the gauntlets off the very top, starting to apply some stress here onto Cody Travis.
Stingray looking for that D-Light, not going to be able to find it. Anime going to be catching that dodge in, using D-Sig out of disadvantage as a get off the option. Okay, sure, why not? Goes through the side, immediately just pivoting that D-Light to catch Soul behind him. That was really good target switching. Sido swatting away his opponent, and that is going to be the stock gone off the top. Anime left to fight by himself. Does he make this comeback?
1v2 situation. It is doable. Both of the players are in orange. He's gonna need a couple of good combos. I'm looking at potentially, I'm not sure which weapon he has primed. If it's a cannon, he might be able to separate them with the Seer. But Stingray and Cody Travis, they're weapon starving him as they are starting to get these freebie hits, and it's gonna be enough to get that knockout and close the game.
They did exactly what they needed to do, which was just keep him away. Keep him away, keep him off the stage, weapon starve him as long as possible, because, you know, you're absolutely right. If Anime were to pick up Cannon, we already know what Anime is able to do with Cannon. Cannon is the kind of weapon that I feel like is really good in a 2v1 setting. Well, in a 1v2 setting, that is. Because you get to take opponents with you. You get to take them with you, you get to put them into your own momentum, and that can be so quick that the other teammate can't hope to follow up. Right? So you get a sidelight, you get a side, you put him off stage with you, and then it becomes very difficult for the teammates to interrupt it. That didn't happen.
Okay, dude!
Is in it.
The DC connects both of them as well. 10 seconds into the game, they're both down into orange. Solo, though, taking quite a beating here. Stingray and Cody Travis are trying to return this damage as soon as possible. Anime is already trying to go for a knockout off the top, though. What is this start from them?
Dodge NSYNC. Good Stingray as well, and it connected the last time. That NSYNC is not going to work out this time around. Cody gets a recovery, but then so does Soul. Soul not going to be losing their stop quite yet. Stingray wanted that recovery so bad, wanted that side A, but none of it ended up connecting.
Neutral signature taking down Soul. Stingray going for the D-Light to GC NSYNC to find the stock as well. Cody Travis was ready to try and clean it up, but there was no lead. That was just enough of force already.
That's right. Now we have Stingray and Cody at a very gentle lead at the moment.
And oh, no, not again.
The lead is completely gone. Uh-oh. Oh, no.
The team, they weren't able to close out the team combo. Still decent damage. They're able to get Cody Travis down into orange. They would have wanted more, but they gotta stay locked in as they try and find the extra credit.
Oh, the final hit of the Endlight was interrupted. You saw Cody Travis trying to set up for it, trying to follow up off of his teammate. Goes for the recovery, sweating. That's a D-Light sider, but Cody did refresh his resources. Anime is not going to be able to keep up that edge guard. He has to just go back onto the stage and help out his teammate.
Soul and Anime staying center stage here, other than Soul sticking to that platform. It's an interesting decision as double gauntlets to stick to center stage while both of the enemies are off the stage.
Stingray looking for a D-Sig. Does not matter because Cody is going to be the one to clean up that stock on Soul. Anime down so deep. The weapon toss not going to be able to do it quite yet. Anime comes back. Anime lives. And Anime's looking for a really crazy ground pound. Didn't find the connection on it though.
Gets the Seer knockout onto Cody. Stingray was really pushed into the corner there, but he's able to get his way out of that sticky situation. And the knockout with a quick wake up. The Lance D-Sig is going to do the job as they're starting to close out the game at this point. I'm looking at Soul. He's getting extra damage. The ground pound connects. Stingray was in the perfect position to perhaps go for a GC NSYNC or a recovery, but it didn't see it in time.
And like putting him off stage on the left side of the stage though, you gotta focus on Soul, you gotta see what's happening, and that is gonna be Soul's last stop gone. Anime with the cannon on hand. Polly, I believe. Oh, I believe. Anime with a cannon, you can't help but believe.
Anime, we didn't even see you barely get a weapon at last 1v2. This time around, you have the cannon in hand. We believe in the cannon. Let's see what it's able to do. Stingray gets a side light opener. It's gonna go into the end light as well as Anime struggling to break this neutral thus far. Nair comes out and Anime has not even needed.
In place. He was
Anime hasn't
going
needed to split them up. Anime hasn't needed to split them up because they're going 1v1 against him and they're winning these 1v1. Stingray with the recovery, 2-1 on the scoreboard.
That was a really good edge guard on, you know, Stingray's behalf then. He kept Anime off stage, and we'll talk about why he kept him off stage, which was, I feel like in Brawlhalla, especially given that most of the down A's in this game, which is like your safest landing option, how committal ground pounds can be. They hit diagonally, they don't necessarily hit directly below you. And so what that normally means is, when you're trying to land on somebody, you have to guess, are they going to try to dash into you to cross you up, meaning they're going to try to hit behind you, or do you want to hit in front of you? And we saw Anime go for like a few bursts, like a couple of like down A's completely behind him, trying to guess that Stingray would dash under him, and Stingray just kind of sat in place. He stood in place, he didn't move at all, saw the whiffed cannon down, he saw the whiffed cannon ground pound. He just sat in place and did the no mix-up. He did not mix up his positioning on the stage at all.
Soul and Anime, they're giving us a very, very clear shift of the tone here as they're going into this incredibly team combo focused, which after such an amazing start, it must be soul crushing to be so very close but not close enough. We're moving into this 4th game now, and if their morale is high, they might be able to take this to game 5. Stingray and Cody Travis, though, every single time Soul and Anime are performing super well, they just ruthlessly shut them down.
That's right. Okay, looking for that end light, able to get the D light instead. Okay,
save.
That interruption was crazy. That was such a good save for Stingray.
Amazing weapon throw usage from Cody Travis. And the Nair also hitting your teammate with the Nair is going to get the save. But we're seeing the double knockout coming out respectively, one for Soul and one for Anime, as we're moving into what is going to be the second stock for Stingray and Cody. Soul is looking healthy here on the first stock.
Okay, Anime getting that down and onto Stingray. That is such an awful position to be. Stingray looking for the D-Sig, but no opponent was anywhere near him. Cody looking for the side Sig. It comes out. That's going to be the side light. That's not going to be any side anytime soon. Both blue team members hanging on to the stock. Onyx is so tanky until Cody Travis has other plans for him.
Stingray and Cody Travis sticking to this platform, playing quite aerially here against these Gauntlet players. They know that they're looking for those team combos, so they don't want to linger to the ground for too long. Able to get a recovery out, almost enough to knock out Soul. They need to get this knockout quickly. I'm looking at them. They're going down into red here. Soul and Anime, they're having an amazing game.
Oh gosh, Cody already down to the last stock, all because of that GCD sig, and it does not matter because Anime able to get that side and finishing off that stock with the downer. This is an amazing lead for blue team. Polly.
I saw Anime setting that up. I saw Anime setting up an offstage play on the cannon, and my heart skipped a couple of beats, but he didn't want to go for the commitment. He'd rather go back onto stage, and he's gonna pay the ultimate price. He's gonna lose his stock in due time to Cody Travis.
How did he avoid the weapon toss? He avoided the weapon toss perfectly. His spacing was like 2 pixels away. Cody was able to get a ground pound. He has single-handedly put red team back into this game because he was able to get that stock from Anime so early. Onyx usually lives through so long.
He put them back into the game, and I mean, Anime took him right back out. 3 stocks against 1 right now. Stingray with the wake up and Soul with a ground pound to punish it. He is unfazed by those shenanigans.
There was a universe where that GCN sync connected, right? Was,
yeah,
like, I saw it.
Sure,
I felt like it was probable. I'm really surprised that it actually ended up whiffing. So this is going to be going to Game 5. This is a really hype set, especially because that we're coming in from elimination side. I also looked over at mainstream because of how much the flights got messed up this weekend. I'm seeing Jude and Flambeau. 2 like vertical portrait TVs. Remoting it. That was so funny. So
I gotta say, Anime and Soul, they're recognizing that Stingray and Cody, they don't have that much team play going on. Like, they have this vague kind of intricate team play where they interrupt stuff and they create space for each other, but they don't get any team combos. This is where Anime and Soul have been capitalizing, and their team combos have actually been so clean.
Got that sideline as a get off me option. Stingray just gonna be chase dodging all the way back down, looking for that early KO off the top. Anime D-Light down, Soul hitting everybody. The weapon toss somehow being avoided. Cody getting saved by his teammate. Shoutouts to Stingray, but he misses the sider. He missed the whip punish on the D-Sig. That could have been so huge.
Stingray able to get a nair interrupt those. He creates space for Cody. He goes in with the unarmed. I'm seeing so many sidelines coming out, and he's going for more. I saw another one. Cody, you have other options on unarmed. I'm not sure if he was aware there.
Okay, Stingray coming back onto the stage, just waiting for somebody to whiff under him. He's really scouting out. He's really threatening with a down air right now. He's just dash jumping all over the place, and Anime able to catch that landing because you already know how much end lag Sido has. You're just able to wait on the ground, wait for them to fall, and then you punish it every single time with just your most active grounded button.
Those weapon throw baits. In the short duration that Stingray was offstage and Soul was above him, the weapon throw baits by Soul was amazing. He's always poking and baiting that neutral sphere. But Soul might be going down here. Actually, not just yet. Anime going above him to try and fend the enemies off from getting an edge guard.
But they need the stock, and they need it right now. The D-Light does not actually come out. The Sido does, and that's going to be Soul Stock finally gone. Anime looking for the jump call out with the down air. Didn't find it. Instead, ends up eating another D-Light Sido of his own. If Stingray can keep continuously finding a lot of these jump call outs, a lot of these anti-airs with the Spirit D-Light, that will give them the consistency they need to take out these stocks.
4 stocks against 4. Stingray and Cody are starting to look quite damaged though. Cody Travis getting chased off the top here by Anime, but Stingray creates a lot of space with that nair, using so many nairs in a row at this point. Side signature is going to be catching teammate though. He's able to get back up. Yet again, you see Soul and Anime. They're not committing to these offstage plays. They're always opting to go for the edge guard.
Not at all. So Anime backing off in just a second here. Soul using the recovery to be able to stall as long as possible and at least be able to get a dodge back. That side angle is so nasty. Cody is not going to be able to make it back on. Anime almost found the follow-up. Stingray is running away for his life until Cody comes back. Anime getting just under the Lance recovery and finding one of his own. That is going to be the NSIG gone off the top on Soul's second stock.
Could have led into another end light onto Anime, but he just narrowly was able to outspace that one. As we're now 3 stocks against 3. Stingray trying to tank this stock to the best of his ability. We've seen Stingray have an amazing ability of doing so. And Sting is catching both of them! Soul is down into orange off of that.
That was really creative. I thought that was a really good mix-up. You were able to catch both of your enemies stacked on top of you. You were able to deal a lot more damage now as a result as well. But both red team members stuck on the left side. That could have gotten so ugly so quickly. Anime picking up the cannon. Cody keeping him off stage. Is Stingray gonna get this edge guard? The recovery doesn't come out. The friendly fire, but the stage spike with the down air, that's gonna do it for Anime's second stock. But he still has one fresh one to go.
Stingray and Cody, their neutral has been absolutely phenomenal, and Anime and Soul's team combos have been at the top of their game. I feel like at this point, whichever team loses a stock first, that's going to be the defeated team. I'm not sure if a 1v2 is possible in this universe.
We're just seeing interruptions on top of interruptions over and over again. That weapon toss comboing into the D-Sig. That was amazing stuff. Good awareness from Stingray in that moment. You get the sidelight. Oh, no! Please! No! No more!
The team
no
combo.
more friendly fire!
Cody's going down on the right side. We almost had synchronized left and right knockouts. D-Light recovery comes out, and Anime and Soul are going to progress through the bracket. Game 5. They're taking it home 3-2.
Ugh, that was a little bit tragic. That side sig. Oh no, Polly. That was a lot of friendly fire. That was a lot of unfortunate friendly fire. We saw so many signatures connect out to Cody Travis that at the end. They had a chance, they had some hope, but ultimately, I feel like Anime and Soul, they look a lot more comfortable playing with each other. I think compared to Stingray and Cody Travis. They were able to set up a couple more 2v1 combos. They were able to at least position themselves around each other a little better, it felt like. With Blue Team, they just had like a better sense of who's going to be in front, who's going to be behind, and who's covering who, and the interruptions were also fantastic. That being said, I really did like a lot of the interruptions from Cody Travis anytime that his teammate was getting hit, especially with Axe on hand. He'd be coming in there with the sidelight, hit everybody, and reset the situation.
For sure, and I feel like Cody, Travis, and Stingray towards the very end there, they were really just trying to brute force kind of any kind of victory here, any kind of the neutral interactions, not trying to contest Anime and Soul's approach of constantly going for team combos, rather than going for team combos themselves. They decided to go for the interrupts and see if they can win the separate 1v1s. With it was working phenomenally. It was working really well up until the point where Anime and Soul's team combos were just a little bit stronger. I wanted to check Anime and Soul. We've been hyping up their team combos. I feel like they actually have really strong synergy, and I was going to try and call it and say that they've grinded together this season in twos. I did go ahead and check. They have 221 ranked games together already this season, so they've definitely refined this synergy, and they know how to play around each other very well.
And having been said, Polly, that does mean that we will be moving on to our next upcoming match. So really good stuff to both teams. That is going to be, of course, oh my gosh, my mind is completely blanked. That's going to be Cody, Travis, and Stingray out of the tournament because that was elimination side. So going into the next match, what do we have coming up ahead of us? We're going to be seeing Sprite and Glue go up against Berserker and Brawlhalla. Sprite and Glue is one of the teams of NA at the moment. This is a static pairing in a season of a bunch of completely new teams with everybody playing with everybody. We are seeing Glue and Sprite rise to the occasion. They got 13th at CEO. They got 5th at the Spring Doubles Championships. They got 17th at the Winter Doubles Championships. But this is the up-and-coming twos team that everybody is talking about.
Sprite and Glue would almost in every other circumstance be a horrible combination, but it seems in the 2v2 lobbies, these two players,
you know, Polly,
they perform
nice
incredibly
when
well.
You make fun of my favorite cocktail. Okay, safety. It has to be the food safe, the non-toxic one. Okay, just so that I'm not encouraging people to eat glue. But that is the one that you can eat. Glue is just basically starch. It's like potato starch and water.
I have to say, on the other hand, Brawlhalla is a player that we have seen. We've seen Brawlhalla on stream before. I've had the pleasure of casting Brawlhalla. I believe I've casted them before, or at the very least seen their gameplay. Berserker, I have to admit, I'm not sure if I have seen in any capacity before. And yet again, it's very fun to see some of these names that, at least to us, to me and you, or potentially only me, it's fun to see them go against some of these more well-established teams that we've heard so much about and we've seen so much from.
I don't know a lot about Berserker either. I don't know who this is, really. Maybe I've seen a couple of sets at some point. But Brawlhalla has also been like one of the up-and-coming players that everybody's been talking about lately as well. Brawlhalla known for Greatsword, but we're seeing him on the Onyx.
Yeah, Onyx definitely making a return so far in the NA sides of things from what we have seen. It's something about that cannon, man. I've talked about uncommon and unusual weapons which we've seen throughout the weekend, and have we really seen any cannon? I'm not sure if we've seen much cannon. We saw, of course, we saw Poe on the cannon in MENA. Sidra, who was on Sidra?
A couple of people. I wouldn't be able to tell you.
A couple of people. I didn't see any of those games.
No. I saw Sidra and I saw Zol. Those are the cannons that we saw.
Yes,
which is
Zol,
like,
of course.
even then, I feel like Onyx would be the one that we would see the most. But I've seen quite a bit of Sidra and Zol, I have to say, this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. The beautiful thing about Cannon is one of those weapons where you can play Cannon as a heavy weapon and you can also play it as a string weapon. It's a bit harder to play it as a heavy weapon. I'd argue as a string weapon it is much stronger. But specifically when you're on that Onyx, you have gauntlets as well. You're going to be leaning more towards that string heavy side, which is something that we haven't seen that much. We've seen, of course, the Cannon representation. I'm just flabbergasted that it's getting so much.
Brawlhalla looking for that neutral, able to get that D-light down as well. Glue just now going to be looking for the landing. Love that weapon toss as an opening to be able to get back down. Look at that follow-up. Look at that synergy. Oh, Polly, it is so nice to see, teams that seem to be a little bit more practiced, I think, with each other.
Yeah. Brawlhalla and Berserker, super nice team combo right off the start, and Glue and Sprite weren't able to find an interrupt off of that. Also, the recovery placement from Brawlhalla, it's also just a great team combo because there's no way he would have been punished if he misses that recovery.
We're seeing two axes on the screen. We're seeing two gauntlets on the screen. Is that going to be enough? Yes, it will be. Brawlhalla able to find that recovery off the top. Sidelight neutral. Grab pound not going to be able to call out the dodge that he wanted.
even stocks all around here as Brawlhalla and Berserker, I feel like potentially have had a little bit more control over the game. At the very least, I mean, the damage that they're getting, they've been in a large bursts, whereas Sprite and Glue, they've only been really chipping this damage in.
Berserker loved that patience. He waited out the early dodge. He was able to get the down air. He gets the end light as well. I do not see a way that Glue makes it back onto the stage, but Berserker unfortunately messed that one up a little bit. Sprite and Glue 2 stocks apiece, but I gotta say, red team is still looking excellent at the moment. They still have a good lead.
All right, Berserker trying to set up for the edge guard. Glue was so ready for that punish, but Brawlhalla saw it too, so he immediately went for that interrupt.
He went out there and he was like, no, I feel bad about this.
I mean, that is generally a situation where you can make the excuse that was a bait and everyone would believe you.
Yeah, just not when the other teammate is behind you, right? If this was in 1v1s, then yes, it would be a real bait. It'd be like, oh, you want to whip a recovery in front of me? Great, I have a whip punish. That being said, that GC side sig gets beautifully punished. Sprite going out there against Brawlhalla, not able to get the recovery because it was the exhausted recovery. If that was a fresh recovery, it would have connected because it had more distance.
And man, I'm seeing Berserker and Berserker and Brawlhalla both. They're trying to go for so many dodge reads, which is adding even more pressure onto Sprite and Glue. Didn't touch the wall. Going to be going down to the cannon there. Brawlhalla able to get it with the dare. I want to see that on the replay later, but they're gonna be able to even out the stocks either way. Glue is much more damage, but a quick team combo is going to be enough to even that damage out. What a beautiful play there in the window of opportunity they had for a 2v1.
Sidelight neutral. Okay, such a good matchup for Axe. If you can keep up this 1v1, I feel like Berserker is not going to have any issues with that whatsoever. Oh my gosh, the punish as well. Able to get the side. That is going to be Glue completely knocked out of the game. It is a 2v1, and I personally see Berserker and Brawlhalla taking it off with me. Unless that decent KO'd.
Brawlhalla went all the way down and just full sent it with that Seer. In a 1v1 now, as we're completely evened out. I've seen Brawlhalla go for a lot of reads here on these gauntlets, and I'm sure also right now in his ears, Berserker is telling him about his dodge habits. If he's able to pick up one of these, he might win the game. But Sprite, his neutral game, is just looking a bit stronger right now.
He's looking for a jump call out with the neutral, but it is completely unsuccessful at this moment. He is off stage. Sprite being nice and patient. All you have to do as Axe is just wait. You have to wait, and people will fall into you sometimes. Left without a weapon, Brawlhalla coming back on with the recovery, opting to pick up the gauntlets, and now it is time for a gauntlet ditto. Coming in, backing off. Who's gonna break neutral first? Who's gonna get in there?
Playing very patiently here. Both players utilizing a lot of weapon throws to try and break this neutral. This spot dodge is not going to be enough because the active frames of the Endlight are going to carry over. Sprite with 714 damage, 4 knockouts. And that's going to be their first game.
Thinking about that side sig that he connected, and I saw Rayman in the orange, and then he ended up getting knocked out, and I thought, there's no way that Berserker is getting knocked out. It worked. It actually ended up working out.
Didn't touch.
Yeah.
I want to see this gauntlet there as well. I'm not sure if we're going to be getting it. Oh, we're getting the same one yet again. Looks so close. Okay, never mind. We're not able to see it. Anyways, we're going into the next game. I'm freaking about some of these micro interactions, but we're taking a look at the macro game as we're going into the second one.
That's right. Alright, let's see what we got. We're going to be seeing the little swap here. We'll see how it ends up working out for them. At the moment, Berserker able to get that end light, Sprite and Glue on the right side of the stage. Sprite, I have to say, that is the one I'm keeping my eyes on. His ability just to be able to sneak out these KOs, his spacing, his neutral. Sprite is playing phenomenal, Polly.
He's most definitely playing phenomenally, and as we're moving into this second game, I'm going to be keeping my eyes on him, especially on those gauntlets. He's able to connect that D-Sig, so many active frames, and he goes for a full set of Seer as well. These guys, they really know how to play gauntlets off stage in a 2v2 environment.
That's right, all you have to do is you have to scout out, well, all you have to do, and making it sound simple, but you're basically waiting for people to exhaust their resources, you put them into a position, you line yourself up horizontally, and you look for a side. What just happened?
The team combo didn't fully connect, but just the synergy. He was so far down, he saw one Alanis in there, and he just completely trusts his teammate, double jump, and goes for a recovery. Connected. Didn't get the full-on team combo, but still, what a wonderful showing.
Oh, the recovery. It gets scouted out by the downer. Money Hollow with the reversal. Not able to get the whip punish onto Glue though. He was a little bit too low below the stage for the decided to put him above it. And now he gets that neutral egg. He chase dodges up. He spaces out the neutral egg so that he slides off the stage with it. Bazooka is on his last stock, and Sprite and Glue look exceptionally healthy.
Berserker now in this offstage situation though. He has 2 axes above him and he's still trying to go for a knockout. The GCD sync isn't going to be enough. He touched. I didn't see the touch, but somewhere in there he was able to get one. And he goes for another offstage onto Sprite. He doesn't find it though.
Oh no! I can't believe that Sprite was able to slip up above the stage. Sprite coming back on. The ground pound does come out. He can't make it back on. The GC and Sync allowed him to come back on after eating a cannon ground pound?
Why are there
What?
no knockouts? Why are there no knockouts? There are so many knockouts that should have happened, but all of these players are so good at recovering back onto the stage.
Okay, finally, I don't think Bazooka has any way to be able to make it back on, and now we are seeing the 2v1 against Money Holla. Sprite and Glue have an incredible lead.
Okay.
And Lane to the side of GC and Lane as well. Downer and a weapon toss onto his own teammate. Sprite and Glue take that game 2 with confidence.
That GCN light at the very end. I'm using the word full send a lot, but the amount of confidence that not only Sprite and Glue, honestly also Money Holla and Berserker are playing with, we're seeing such confident plays from all of these players. It is really, really impressive. Sprite and Glue, they just seem to always end up on top though.
That's right. And now we're seeing the switch off. Bazooka opting for the Ulgrim and Money Holla on the Jeyun. This is what we know Money Holla for. Money Holla was one of the people that was also really pushing Jeyun in this format. I'm really curious why he wasn't going Jeyun before and why he was opting, you know, for, you know, I believe it was the Onyx, but I guess we'll find out now.
We will indeed find out. We're getting to see some more greatsword gameplay here on the North American side of the Summer Doubles Championship. We're moving into what is going to be match points. Glue and Sprite. One game is all they need.
Oh, sweating on the way back down. No punish, able to find a recovery. And now both blue team members are stuck off stage. Glue, can you make it back on? Yes, you can, thanks to Sprite. Guys, I have to say, Sprite is playing phenomenal in the synergy. He was able to help Glue get back on for at least a short amount of time.
Oh!
Can he make it back on? He touched?
I almost thought that was 2 blunders. Sprite, I thought he would have gone for the punish to get a chase dodge, and then I thought he also wouldn't touch the stage, but he's able to get back onto the stage, making all of the Sprite and Glue fans hold their breaths there for a moment. Berserker and Money Holla, nonetheless, they're able to grab a lead here.
I can't believe the GC side sync didn't connect. Sprite looking for the GCD light now. Bazooka coming back on with the recovery. Sprite getting knocked off stage. Glue able to close out that first stock, but can they get the stock off on Bazooka is the question.
Oh no, Berserker with the power of Lan Necessaire and his teammate by his side, he's able to get back up as he's still tanking this first stock, and he's gonna find the knockout as well. It's not like he's tanking the stock while playing carefully, okay? He's being very useful.
Glue has to play perfectly now because you were stuck on your last stock. So, Bazooka has still somehow not lost his first stock. He is still hanging on. He is still stock tanking. The recovery from below the stage is not going to be enough, but an axe side would have KO'd a very long time ago.
Berserker probably had an accuracy of 80% with his light attacks in that one stock. That was an incredible showing on the lands. But man, Sprite and Glue, they're really starting to fall behind here. And if they lose these stocks, it's going to be over.
Okay, Sprite making it back on. Bazooka just opting to focus onto Glue so that he could connect the side. Sprite is still somehow surviving. Glue made it back against 2 heavy weapons. Okay, wonderful. He avoided all of those hitboxes. Bazooka off stage. Can they get this KO on him? Okay, they keep him off stage. They're keeping him stuck in disadvantage. The dive kick misses. The GCD light recovery connects. Sprite goes out there for the weapon toss. And on the right side, while we were talking about that, Bazooka was quickly cleaning up his teammate. And Glue is out of the game.
Sprite, you've been having a really good set. You've been having a good day by the looks of things, but this 1v2, you're gonna have to play very well to be able to take this one. Berserker and Money Holla. I'm excited to see what kind of team combos you got cooking up. We see the first couple of hits. Berserker, no follow-up after the sidelight. We saw sidelight into nothing.
Oh no, did I disconnect? Okay, I think I can still see the game from the other window.
All right, Brawlhalla able to get a sideline onto Sprite as he's trying to set up this edge guard. All the way down in red, Berserker gets the GC side signature right above him, and it's going to be enough. There's no way to get back. I mean, what are you supposed to do?
I think I desynced. I was not able to see the last few seconds of that game at all. So, Polly, you're going to have to walk us through the conclusion. But it is going to be my guess that Berserker and Brawlhalla were able to close it out.
Indeed. I mean, they ended it off with, as I mentioned, a super nice edge guard. Sprite really made them struggle there for a moment, but didn't make them struggle nearly enough. The one edge guard I was thinking of, I think we're going to get it on the replay here, using a great sword to cover that grounded area, literally spamming sidelight, and then as soon as Berserker, as soon as they get a little bit overconfident and they feel like, okay, I'm gonna try to recover, Berserker just sweeps in with the GC side signature.
Where was the Brawlhalla Jaehyun before, is my question. Brawlhalla seemed so much more comfortable.
Okay,
But
there's no way.
Oh, what?
They haven't gotten hit yet! Berserker, he got one axe recovery, that's all they've gotten onto them!
Oh, we're so back. Glue and Sprite, they're doing amazing
There's
with
no way,
something already.
Brawlhalla could have got a knockout there. Yeah, that unarmed there, that could have been it right there. In just like one hit, perfectly placed. Berserker goes down, Brawlhalla is in orange. What is going on?
Brawlhalla do to them? What did he do to them? Brawlhalla makes it back onto the stage. The recovery comes out and puts him back off. Sprite and Glue are playing like they hate him. Like they hate his family. What are they doing to him, Polly?
I don't understand what's going on. Sprite and Glue. I mean, you get a lucky, you get a team combo, you get a double team combo. You can boil that down to, okay, maybe you got a little bit lucky, right? It's super hype, it's very nice, it's well played by them, but there's some luck involved potentially. Not necessarily luck, but you know.
He just held the side sync. He didn't let go. He did it and it's still connected. That was the very last active hitbox.
What you can't defend after a double 2v2 team combo like that is nearly getting your stock taken when you're light yellow offstage by unarmed. I mean, Glue and Sprite, they're on a roll right now.
Okay, but Berserker off stage, closing down with the weapon toss and missed the second dive kick. And he lost his stock. That would have been a perfect edge guard. He got so many hits. This game is nonsense.
This is the thing, right? I mean, if you're trying to come back from a massive lead or a massive disadvantage rather, you're gonna have to take some risks. Sometimes those risks don't work out. We saw it right there. Berserker going down to the final stock. Glue is soon to follow. I would very much still say that this is a doable game, but Sprite and Glue, even though this lead is growing smaller, it's large enough to take this game quite comfortably.
Sprite and Glue having their own little 1v1 for the secondary, and now Brawlhalla so precariously close to being KO'd. The side who comes out, the end light was enough to do it. Berserker gets put off stage. Can he make this comeback? The answer is it's not looking particularly likely.
Oh!
Wait,
take that back, I guess. He's able to get the first knockout. No options though. He uses the touch. That was a touch. He got the touch as well, and the weapon throw is going to seal the deal. That offstage encounter, I'm not sure if that's legal. I'm not sure if that's tournament legal to give us a roller coaster of emotions like that.
This was indeed a roller coaster of emotions, and I am not good with roller coasters, and I'm nauseous coming out of that entire game because everything from the beginning to the end of it did not happen in the way that it should. We started off with the earliest KO that I've seen in series in quite a long time. I saw some insane edge-guarded attempts. It was so back and forth for a second. And then Sprite and Glue, they played with a chip on their shoulder. They played so well that game.
They played incredibly well, and as we mentioned, the very first stock that they got, the very first double team combo, they had an amazing opportunity given to them, and they took it as soon as they possibly could. And not messing up in those situations, of course, is incredibly vital. Brawlhalla and Berserker, it was possible to come back from. It really was. But then again, in the second stock, Glue and Sprite, they were looking super strong yet again. The fact that Berserker and Brawlhalla got as close as they got, honestly, is impressive. Even though they didn't win, it's still impressive that they were somehow able to catch up.
They caught up, and if they had so much momentum. That reversal off stage also was crazy. But that does mean that is the end of the run for Berserker and Brawlhalla. They're going to be knocked out of the event. That was elimination side, of course, and they're going to be gone for the rest of today. So really good stuff. Of course, the Glue and Sprite, they're going to be moving on throughout the bracket. How did Glue and Sprite even get knocked down into elimination side so early?
I have no idea. They entered top 32 in the elimination side, so they either went down in top 128 or already in pools. Looking at it right here, they actually went down first round of top 128. They went down against Jinx and Wubs.
And it's my understanding that Jinx is somebody that changed their tag. I forgot what the tag before it was.
Toast for press. It was toast for press or toast for short. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see now.
Nickname changes are difficult.
Polly, what is the set that we have coming on up now?
Okay. This is something that I love talking about. I love when we're in the elimination side of things and we are able to, even when we have a bunch of different games to pick in between, we're able to follow a set team and we're able to see how they progress throughout the bracket. We're going to see Soul and Anime, which of course, just to give you guys a reminder, they fought against Cody, Travis, and Stingray, which went all of the way in elimination side. Given that they're still here in the tournament, needless to say, they won that game if you weren't able to see it. Going up against Cossalix and Hardy MJ.
That's right. We're going to be seeing Hardy on, of course, the Negan. We're seeing even more of this great sword representation in twos, which is not... It's always like a little bit controversial, right? Because people are like, oh, great sword is really good in ones because of how much you're able to put people into like your own little mini game. But then in twos, it can be a little bit tricky. We're going to be seeing Cossalix, the veteran, the champion of Lance, going up against Soul and Anime. And so, I feel like a lot of games with Anime are kind of dependent on, is he going to be able to get some really crazy offstage KOs? Is he going to be able to get out there, and is he able to go super, super deep against his opponents and find really early downer KOs?
I have to say, Dara, I love the term minigame for greatsword. It's like you get hit by a greatsword sideline and you just hear 8-bit music as you enter a minigame of how are you going to get out this time?
It's no longer Brawlhalla. Now you're fighting up against Greatsword. So at the mid-season championships, Cossalix and Hardy, they ended up placing 17th, which is quite good. But I feel like I haven't seen a really big breakout performance for either player in a little bit of time. And so we'll have to see how they do today. That being said, look at what Anime is getting started. Look at what Soul is getting started. Look at the interruption into the cider as well. That was crazy.
Okay. And they had the opportunity for a team combo there as well with the conversion off of the cannon there that Anime tried throwing out. Immediately, I mean, we said it while we were watching them fight Cody, Travis, and Stingray. They weren't making offstage commitments. They really were opting to go for the edge guards instead. First stock of the first game, they immediately try to get an offstage interaction set up. So these guys, they're definitely adapting their playstyle to their opponents, which I love to see. They're going to start this game with a lead.
And it's a pretty confident lead at that. They're only in the orange at this point in time. Cossalix looking for the GC N-Sig that does not find its target. The N-Light, so many N-Light, so many gauntlets on the screen. Downer, Cider as well. Amazing stuff. Getting in there with the GCD Light. Anime putting Cossalix off stage with the Cider. Okay, just backing him off, putting up a wall, letting his teammate get back on, and that is going to be finally his first stock gone with the Cider.
Anime also, while he was getting back up on the stage, literally skipping past Hardy MJ and Cossalix. He doesn't care if he gets team comboed, he needs to get over to Soul one way or another. He wanted to try and protect him, but unfortunately, the knockout will come for him. Hardy MJ and Cossalix are able to close out the second one as well. Soul, though, he's not afraid to fight on his own in this 1v2 situation. So he's connected so many spear dares, but Anime is gonna have to be the one to come in and swoop in the knockout. Soul getting one of his own with the dare.
That was amazing patience.
Oh no.
All he did was he waited for the wall, but look at this 2v1 combo. The D-Light, Cider, recovery, Hardy. Look at the damage. Look at the amount of damage dealt. Cossalix coming back on. That was the neutral, but where was the chase dodge? There was no chase dodge. He could have made it back onto the stage. Look at the position for Red Team. It is not good, Polly.
4 stocks against 1. Hardy MJ, he's already thinking about game 2, man. This is pretty much over. I want to look at that replay. I want to see Cossalix. I believe whenever they got both stuck into that team combo, Cossalix dropped out of it somehow, and he really wanted to help Hardy MJ get out of it. But I believe Cossalix immediately panicked and did an axe nair, which led to him being in recovery frame so that he couldn't actually help his teammates. We're going to see it right here, I believe. No, it's going to be afterwards. We didn't get to see the team combo at all.
A little bit tragic, a little bit unfortunate, but most unfortunate
we saw it.
of all
You
was
remember
that
it.
missed Yeah. It was the missed chase dodge, because that is the best way to be able to get back onto the stage when you have no resources. If you hit somebody, then he gets a chase dodge in that direction. Kosalix only dealt 163 damage that game. He did not have a lot of presence.
Yeah, I mean, Anime and Soul, their game plan, as we mentioned, you know, they've been dominant on stage. They've been dominant with the team combo setups for what we have seen so far in this tournament. The one thing that they changed in this game was that they were now also committing onto these offstage interactions. They really, all things considered, I want to say they didn't let Kosalix play the game.
No, not at all. Kosalix was kept out, and he was kept out of harm's way, and they made some of these stocks completely disappear. We're going into the next game. We're not going to be seeing any switches quite yet, but I would like to see Hardy and Kosalix establish themselves against Soul and Anime. Soul and Anime's combos are looking incredible. The offstage awareness is looking excellent, and so it feels like there's quite a few adaptations that need to be made.
I feel like, you know, Anime and Soul, they're winning the neutral interactions a little bit more, and they're winning the neutral interactions while being in the correct position for a team combo. What RDMJ and Kosalix might want to do is try and look if you can dismantle this positioning that they've got going on, because then at least you can lose the 1v1 but not get team comboed afterwards, and that's a much easier position to handle.
Okay, Soul looking through the downer, not going to be able to find it quite yet though. Hardy, that is going to be his ideal position to be in, which is a separate 1v1. Anime, not able to land against Hardy, who found that end light. He looks for that end sig, but it was unsuccessful.
Alright, and I mean, at this point, Hardy, MJ, and Kosalix, they're winning the 1v1s, and the few 1v1 neutral interactions that Soul and Anime have been finding, they're not leading to a team combo. Hardy, MJ, and Kosalix, they've definitely adapted incredibly quickly to Anime and Soul.
Gets that end light, gonna be keeping Anime off stage. You found an end light of your own, and now Hardy is off stage in a bit of a nasty position. Soul is just looking to threaten with the spear down in. Nobody is directly below him. The end sig does come out, and it does successfully KO. That's one neutral in. Now, how do you finish the stock off on Hardy? He is deep into the red. You got gauntlets on hand. You found a sider. So ledge trapping, maybe a couple of D-light sider.
I actually think, I mean, as soon as he got Hardy off stage going, opting to go for the full-on 2v1 instead was actually a much better idea. Even though it didn't lead to the knockout, the sheer risk-to-reward ratio is infinitely higher. However, as that didn't hit, they're still going to be falling behind here in this lead. With Anime, I'm looking at Anime, red in his second stock here, falling behind too.
Looking through the side lane, ends up getting punished by Hardy's sider. Sidelight Sido not going to be able to come out quite yet. Oh, Anime has taken a lot of damage here. Soul is already on the last stock. This is not looking like an amazing game for the blue team.
Already MJ with the fully charged weapon throw, which is going to be connecting, and Anime just refuses to go down. I mean, we're starting to see barbecue color HP on this Onyx.
Smoky. Oh yeah, that's
the dare. The dare. They got the dare. That's even more damage that doesn't knock out. The Seer doesn't connect Anime. Anime is him. Anime is him, Dora.
GCN Light and Sig. That was amazing. Hardy not going to be able to make it back on. No dodge, no resources. Anime knocked down a last stock, but they got Hardy's stock off. Blue team has made this game even again. They did the impossible. And now can they close, or will red team clutch it out?
With an insane tanking of the second stock from Anime, they're finding themselves in even stocks here. Hardy, MJ, and Kosalix, they're starting to get a damage lead as Soul gets pushed off to the side. Hardy, MJ is allowed to commit to the edge guard as well. Now, Anime has to 1v2. He has the cannon in hand. We mentioned this earlier, and we've already seen what Anime's cannon is able to do in a 1v2 situation as soon as he gets this split up.
He just needs that end light. He needs that side light. He needs to be able to carry somebody with him. He gets both of them with a side light, but no lead. Okay, that's the end light. Hardy cannot make it back onto the stage. Kosalix doesn't find the save. Weapon toss, GCD light didn't connect, which could have comboed into the ground pound. Gauntlet versus Lance. Catch that landing. Sider has so much end lag. That was such a commitment. Side light to be able to get him off. The side light whips. Kosalix with the punish. 2 end lights. Poke, poke, poke. Neutral. Oh my god.
Ground pound. On the stage, ground pound used by Anime, knocking him off to the side. It's not going to be that. The D-Sync doesn't connect, and Anime is right there and ready to punish it. D-Light Nair, and he's gonna take that stock off. What a close game. I mean, I want to say close. It wasn't a close game. Anime and Soul, they just made a massive comeback. If we take a look at the stocks and how they progressed, this is 5 stocks against 3.
if there was a weapon that is incredible in 1v2 situations, it would be Cannon. Because again, it can take opponents with you. Enlight gives you so much momentum if you connect it that it usually keeps you nice and safe. Your Sidelight is able to cover both opponents at once, swat them away, and then you get to kill people with you. Your Cider lets you reposition. Anime avoided every single potentially lethal hit, and then he was able to get the KO onto Hardy, and then he just outplayed Kostelix in neutral. Kostelix got impatient with that desync. Kostelix said he wanted the KO, he wanted it so badly, but Cannon is one of the weapons in the game with a true KO confirm with the D-Light into the neutral. He was not at a point where he could commit to something like that, Polly.
Kostelix and Hardy MJ, man. The beginning of that game really went to, in their favor, and I feel like they definitely still have it in them. I can definitely see I can see a reality where this goes to 3-1, 3-2, or even the full-on reverse 3-0. Now, as to how probable I think that is, we might not need to discuss. Anime and Soul, they're already up 2-0 for a very good reason. We've been able to see them play for an entire set previously, and they're shining. They're shining right now, Dara.
They're looking phenomenal, but we can't count out Hardy and Kostelix. They still have a chance. They still have the ability to be able to take this one out, but they have a lot of work ahead of them. They're down 2-0 in a game that could have been theirs. That was their lead. They opened off with a lot of confidence, and now let's see what we got in this potentially final game 3.
All right. Kostelix and Hardy MJ, so far they've found themselves a fairly good start here. But Soul and Anime, I mean, look at that gauntlet play. How do you find those opportunities? That could have been his stock just completely gone immediately.
Cody looking for the GCD light. Soul able to connect the NSIG. Okay. Just backing off a little bit. Both teams, nobody finding any big neutral wins at the moment. The recovery is not enough to take out Soul stock off the top quite yet.
Alright. Kostelix and Hardy MJ in a 1v2 situation. They're not able to get that knockout in though, because Soul is doing a great job at playing aerially here. He's playing aerially on that spear as well. I mean, I wouldn't want to go too near that.
Anime able to get the side out. Kostelix gonna be stuck off stage, but Hardy taking out Soul's first stock. So once again, much like last game, they have a lead. It's not an amazing lead. With Cannon on hand, absolutely, the neutral is gonna be more than enough to take out the stock. The Enlight putting Kostelix off stage. Soul just jumps back onto safety and opts to focus on Hardy instead of going for the non-guaranteed KO against Kostelix.
Down signature is going to be connecting as Kostelix to try to make it back onto the stage, and Hardy MJ, there's no options left with an off-stage play. Anime is going to take that stock off as they set up for the team combo, and there's almost the full extension. It's Hardy MJ, his punish was a little bit late.
He gets a sidelight. Kostelix tries to get in there with a sidelight of his own. Soul not going to be able to find that punish. The neutral light finisher, Hardy just able to anti-air effectively. Okay, that's going to be the side stick coming out there. Soul going to be looking for the D-light. Anime gets the ground pound. Hardy eats a recovery. Has to land against 2 gauntlets. He is experiencing some trauma from the last stock. The double recovery was so nasty. That was so disgusting.
We're 4 stocks against 1 right now as they set up for a team combo. The team combo starts on stage and it ends off stage as Kostelix is now taking ground pounds from above. The third one is going to seal the deal as Anime and Soul continue in the tournament as they beat them 3-0.
Yeah, that was tough. That was an amazing game for Anime and Soul. What they did off stage to Hardy on his second stock was ridiculous. Their understanding when both of them have gauntlets, their coverage is immaculate. I mean, you saw the synergy. You saw the dynamic. One of them sits on the stage, ready to cover with D-Light, because then D-Light is able to true confirm into Cider. One of them is just hugging the side of the stage. So that if Hardy were to go to the side of the stage, he would have to eat a Cider. If he had to go over the stage, then he would be eating a D-Light. He had nowhere that he could possibly go. And then that, oh my gosh, that last stock of his off the top, the double recovery to finish. When Anime and Soul both have gauntlets in hand, they just become a player that shares the same brain cell. They're able to just communicate with each other so well.
Yes, being able to share the same brain cell, I think you put it wonderfully. And as you mentioned, Soul and Anime, they play a lot together and they've refined their synergy. And I feel like synergy really is the name of the game. Soul and Anime, this might be some of the best Soul and Anime gameplay that I've seen. Of course, we haven't seen Soul and Anime as a dedicated team that much, but Anime playing it very, very well. Definitely up to his normal standard, and Soul also definitely carrying his own weight and even more. I would say that they're top 8 material for tonight, but they're fighting Walshy and Pugsy next, and I wouldn't feel too confident calling out how that set is going to go. We can only wait and see, because that game will of course also be broadcasted here.
That's right. But everybody, that does mean that is the end of Polly and I for the weekend. We're going to have a couple of lovely casters coming in and taking over for us. I believe it's going to be Slow-Mo and Walt. Polly, before we go ahead and sign off and finish off, do you have any final thoughts for us?
Any final thoughts? I mean, it's been a weekend of upsets. We've already seen some upsets already on this stream and previously in pools and in the beginning of top 128. But I feel like the true upsets can still come in top 8. We're seeing a lot of players playing better than usual tonight, and I'm definitely going to stick around to see the conclusion of this.
That's right. Everybody, thank you so much for having us. Thank you so much for listening to us talk about video games. You're going to be in some excellent hands. Turn down for Walt, and Slow-Mo will be taking over for us. Go ahead and follow the both of us on Twitter if you would like. And we're not going to keep you any longer. Some more elimination side top 32 matches coming your way. Stay tuned, and they'll be taking you soon.
This is a vibe that you never could block. They can't get mad cause I'm walking the walk. They liking my style, they love how I talk. When I do a song, they wait for the drop. Might get some diamonds to put on my wrist. I take the credit I don't ever miss. I'm problematic, you never could diss. I make a hit that you never could skip. I got the drive, I'm up in the sky. You look at the clouds, you see that I'm flying. Only doing, you know I ain't trying. Keeping the mileage, catching the vibe. And got no time to waste, yeah. This will be my break, yeah. Got me feeling good, yeah. See it on my face, yeah. Acting's out of place, yeah. Picking up the pace, yeah. Better tell me now, I'm the winner of the race, yeah. Got no time to waste, yeah. This will be my break, yeah. Got me feeling good, yeah. See it on my face, yeah. Nothing's out of place, yeah. Picking up the pace, yeah. Better tell me now, I'm the winner of the race, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Brawlhalla Summer Doubles Championship. My name is Turned Down for Walt, and I am in the presence of greatness with slow motion here, bringing us the North American side stream. How you feeling, dude?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I mean, I enjoy the South American days, but North America, of course, is my home region, my home players. It's always good to see them throw down, especially on twos. We don't have as many twos tournaments this year, so the ones we have are kind of special and near and dear to my heart. But I want to take a second. I want to officially welcome you, at least me personally. We both got hired this year. I have never worked with you. I want to welcome you to the Brawlhalla family, and thanks for hanging out and doing this block with me today.
Dude, I feel so welcome being here. I mean, it's been such an amazing experience so far, and I'm excited to be doing it with you too, man. Like, I've heard a lot of good things about you, and I think we're going to have a great time. You were telling me a little bit about some of our players for this first match. I think we can just go ahead and start talking about them right now. What do you think?
So we got Jinx and Wubs. Like I was letting Walt know, Wubs, I was actually kind of surprised, not surprised, but impressed he made it this far. He is playing on US West servers, makes things a little more difficult for him. And then on the other side, we got Marky Moo, who absolutely broke me at CEO, getting that upset against Lores. It took me 15 minutes to find my brain on the floor. It was not good for me. So this really does have the potential to be a volatile and very fast-paced match between these two teams. Marky Moo has just been that wild card here lately, and I've definitely been keeping eyes on him in the ones. And I'm looking forward to being able to see what he can do in twos today.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of CEO, right? Like, Marky Moo and Super Y, I think, actually teamed together at that event as well, and they made a top 8. So not super surprising, I think, to see them that far in this bracket, but I'm looking forward to it. I always bring this up whenever there's an Onyx on the screen. I think Cannon is such a unique twos weapon that it's really, really cool when you're able to split off into those 1v1s, find those dodge patterns, and make the correct guesses, get those stocks for over. On either side can make this happen in this game one.
Absolutely. We're going to drop into Demon Island to start things off, and Webb's going straight to work unarmed over on that right side against Marky Moo. Marky Moo's coming over, trying to take him off of the weapon drop, but he does pick it up, trying to go up in the air. They have Super Y in a position, but he is able to make his way all the way back down the stage, and we're just broke back off into neutral. Walt.
Oh yeah, let's just hang out for just a second. We'll see the reach coming through from Marky Moo for just a second as Super Y tries to recover back to stage. Not going to be first strike off the left, but you do get a little extra time there on that cannon holder on the right side. Look at this. Let's watch the dodge.
That ground pound has a lot of splash damage, being able to pick up on those ground pounds. Wubbs did a really good job staying out of it. Sweat beats coming out. He still doesn't have a weapon. Able to come down, get the gauntlets on his hands. We're going to see the offstage pressure against Marky Moo right now. Weapon throw coming up. Going to protect that lane to get back up on stage. Recovery's going to whiff, but he is there safe and sound just to get picked up by that down sig, and that is going to take his first stock.
Yeah, and Super Y was hanging onto that stock for a little bit longer. As I say it, the respawn will come through on the right side, but it did seem like both teams were pretty apt to just kind of like play off and split into their separate edge guards when they wanted to. Haven't seen too much in the way of team combos just yet.
No, they haven't really had a whole lot of opportunity to be able to set those up. A lot of 1v1s, a lot of opponent swapping here in the opening game. Wubbs catching a nice D-light into Sayer, 2 Sayers. Can you get a third one? That was the wrong way, Wubbs. What are you doing, bro? And that's going to end your stock. One misinput, and that stock is gone, but he is still the healthiest on the map right now.
Yeah, slacking a little bit right here off stage. Marky Moo now on the right side, but both members of Blue getting swept up in the mix. It's a double KO off the right side. Jinx and Wubs really going to work here on this first game, slow motion. What do you think?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially Jinx still being on that first stock. I mean, Wubs has got plenty of gas in the tank on that second one, but Jinx is absolutely tanking with this Onyx here in the opening game. Did not get that weapon drop, but continuing to put in good damage unarmed. No response from Blue team on Jinx at this point. Is continuing just to be able to swing at will. Finally, the Dare coming off of the cannon of Marky Moo is going to send his first stock out of here. Ooh, and a double knockout. There it is.
Okay, we find it slowly but surely. Marky Moo, and Super Y are starting to mount a little bit of a comeback. They just have to make sure they don't take too much damage on the way out for either of these last stocks. Let's see, cannon on cannon action coming through for just a moment. Jinx just wants to go straight in onto Marky, but look at the target swap.
Absolutely. Loves working that left side. Is he going to come? Oh, he's going to pick up Marky Moo. Oh no, this neutral breakdown is a little sketchy for both these teams right now. I mean, Jinx is really that wild card in this one, having that whole extra stock to work with. Wubs trying to get as much damage in as he can before that stock is confirmed. either way, this is looking really, really good for red team right now as Wubs continues with the weapon throw down, weapon throw again into Markimu's face.
Yeah, Jinx a little bit overextending there on the left side, but both blue members really deep red or getting there soon. Markimu has nothing left. It's the 2v1 right here. Let's see. I mean, you got to look down Wubs first to at least try to make it a 1v1 battle. You'll find it on Jinx potentially. There goes the recovery, but you have to target swap.
There it is. That is going to go ahead and finish up right there all day long. Finishing off with the gravity canceled D-Light into Sair and put Wubs and Jinx up 1. Always one get number 2. I really kind of expected to be a little closer than that. I'm really interested to see what the download looks like from blue team and what they're able to adjust going into game number 2. See if we have a weapon swap. Markimu does have a couple other legends in his pocket that he can pull out. I just don't know if he's going to feel comfortable with the current meta doing so.
Yeah, it looks like we're looking at stages right now at the moment, but we'll probably pull up the charts as well. Cannon did 419 damage for that last game for Markimu. I think it really did put in a lot of good work for them. I think the biggest thing from like a tactics perspective was like, again, like I said before, there really wasn't much in the way of 2v1 combos. So I think if they were able to target down Wubs on that last stock and at least make it 2 of Jinx's stocks against Markimu and Super Y in red, it's a little bit more doable than having to play the 2v2 a little bit more honest there. So let's see what we get here.
Absolutely. It looks like we're going to go right back to Demon Island. Good, solid map. I don't think any of these players really want to deal with the soft platforms at this point. Super Y going straight up to the top, trying to work those aerials in on the spear, catching Wubs off guard again off stage. Back with it. Double gauntlets for the red team right now, but Markimu getting the better hand on Wubs up in the air. Nice recovery to finish it up from Super Y on Jinx. And somehow, some way, you think of these interactions that the health would be a little closer, I mean, a little further apart here at the beginning of the game. It looks like it's kind of been the blue team show, but they are
hit right there
at the disadvantage.
Ooh, Markimu unarmed right there from that too, so that big hit took away the weapon. Trying to navigate back to the stage. I mean, Super Y just has really no agency there to protect that weapon spawn as well. So Markimu will be the first one to fall. A KO off the top. Super Y follows quickly, fast, and in a hurry. Let's see if they can get a response onto Wubs. No, they're not going to find one.
And blue team needs to get that response. They do not want to let this slip away from them. They do not want to be in a position where they have to bring back a whole stock deficit. And right now they have their opponents in a knockout range. It's just a matter of finding those knockout options and being able to get those out of there and not let them continue to get this bonus damage that they are continuing to rack up on blue team. Although that's not going to send to the top 45. Couldn't catch a landing, letting Jinx get some more damage.
Little side air from Super Y isn't enough, but it does put Jinx off stage for just a moment. Wubs going to work right there, but not going to get too much after that. Jinx falling off the right side as well, but they don't have a window for the 2v1 on Wubs. He's just too slippery.
Absolutely. He will go up and hide in the air real quick, and that's going to be Super Y's second stock at the hands of Jinx. Nice team combo opportunity. Missing on the gravity canceled in Sig, though, but still put themselves in that power position, continuing to tighten down the pressure on the blue team. They literally are just controlling the tempo, controlling the stage control. Are you kidding me? God. Hit him again, Wubs! Let's go! Double knockout for Wubs right there. Markimu just going to jump off. Markimu, you can't do that, brother. You got to fight that out. But that's okay. They're going to go up a 2-0 on blue team, and it is definitely going to be a go next mentality for blue team, as we saw right there.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, put the replay back on the screen for that one. That was a power play and a half. Finding 2 stocks, the double KO, and, you know, blue team just says, we concede. I think this game's over. Let's make some adjustments, see if we can make this comeback in game 3 happen. But look at that, bouncing off the stage as well. Weapon toss so perfect. Nothing left in the tank at that point as you come through with the unarmed, and it's just a wrap. What a play by Wubs.
No, that was a really clean slide charge down Sig. That was perfection. A very nice work from Wubs here, and we are going to go back to Demon Island yet again. And blue team has found themselves in a very serious position here, because now they are down 2-0 and they need the next 3 games to be able to stay in this tournament and to solidify a spot in top 8 elimination side.
Yeah, it's tough, Slow. I mean, I feel like when you're making big plays like Wubs and Jinx had made in that first and second game, it's a real tall order, right? I mean, a lot has to be made from Markimu and Super Y in the way of these 2v1 combos, which they really haven't been getting too much. Wubs is going to get a little bit mixed up right there, hits Jinx, but not a stock loss just yet. They will find that first strike off the right side. Markimu is just playing outside perimeter on the left, so not going to get too punished on the way out.
Markimu, I'm just going to point it out. Like we talked before, you know, our block. here we go. Another Rayman and no SpongeBob on my screen, Walt. There's no SpongeBob on my screen.
For one,
I am going
outraged.
to riot.
I don't know how you feel slow motion personally. It just upsets me greatly. I can't tell any emotion that you may have, though.
I am personally offended, but that's okay. That's okay. He's going to try and work this Rayman just the same, and they're still trying to confirm these opening stocks on red team as Wubs and Jinx are doing a great job at taking these out, getting some more damage built up on a Super Y, but Marky Moo doing a great job as well on this Rayman. He is still on his first stock as Jinx sent over, staying out of the way of the weapon throw. Wubs going way down low. Marky Moo going to go ahead and chase him out. Sweat beads out. That's it. That is finally going to be the first stock for Wubs.
Yeah, crazy. A little bit of an overextension there on the off stage, but I mean, it still works out. We stay even across the board. Super Y is going to be the target of choice right now with that orange damage, but I mean, more or less, everyone's pretty much even.
Yeah, it is a lot closer this game. I think the legend slots for Blue Team are definitely showing their worth here. As Wubs, though, is just swinging his way across stage. Hit him again with the gravity cancel signature. Is Marky Moo going to find a lane to get back up? And yes, that gravity cancel neutral signature off the Rayman, a very vital part of that kit, and so good at getting back to stage.
Yeah, but what a pickup from Wubs right there, and call it a second one as well. I mean, the game just blows wide open when you're able to find these pickups off the spear.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The spear is very, very good in twos, and that's why we're seeing it time and time again, set after set. Wubs putting it to good use right now. Nice air come back down the stage, trying to get that recovery, and he does find it. Marky Moo up in the air with sweat beads. The Wubs had no more options to hit him with another recovery, so he's able to get back down the stage. He's playing fast and loose over on the right side as his teammate is now gone. 4 stocks to 1, Walt.
Yeah, this is a tough one for sure. I mean, it's just going to be one player sends off stage. They will get potentially 1 stock right there, but Wubs has all day to come back. You really can't commit to that left side, especially when Jinx is just playing the perimeter there. Big hit right there. Recovery's not going to do too much. There's the GC. That's a follow-up. Not going to happen just yet, but I mean, it is damn close. That might be the game right there.
Is he going to find a way back? He does put his feet back on the stage, but I don't know how much it's going to be. A little too late as we see that stock come off because Marky Moo is well into knockout range. That Sarah's not going to have it up, but Wubs is going to give chase, try and catch that landing. There it is. Very nice textbook Brawlhalla right there. Wubs finishing off that stock, finishing off the set, and finishing off Marky Moo and Super Y.
Yeah, like you said before at the start of the broadcast, this is elimination top 8 qualifiers. So Wubs playing out of region on the servers, a West Coast region guy, making it into top 8. Really good showing. I mean, all that being said, kudos to Marky Moo and Super Y for getting 9th place here, but that will be the end of their bracket.
Yeah, absolutely. It is going to be the end of their day, but just shy of top 8. I mean, even though they played well, you know, they got to be a little disappointed, but I guarantee you we're going to continue to see good things from Marky Moo and Super Y. They both just keep improving. That being said, they're done, and we are also going to be done with that set as we take a look at the breakdown and move on to our next game.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you just look straight at the numbers, right, obviously the damage spread is just very much favored in Jinx and Wubs, but like, I think the biggest thing that I had pointed out early on in the set was it really felt like Marky Moo and Super Y weren't converting as often on these kind of 2v1s, quick 2-piece, 3-piece combos that they could get if they isolate in those situations. A lot of that time you could see the macro of you push someone on red team off stage and they would hard commit for the edge guard instead of target swapping over and maybe forcing a 2v1 position.
I think maybe we got into a little bit of a panic mode in those last couple of games, just trying to fish out those knockouts, trying a little desperation, trying to get the job done, and it just gave Wubs and Jinx an opportunity to capitalize on that and just turn the screw even harder.
For sure.
But like I said, unfortunate for them. But we do have another one lined up for you guys, and it's going to be. Come on, production, give me the slide, man. Give me the slide. It's going to be Walshy and Pugsy going up against Soul and Anime. I knew who it was. I just wanted the crowd to be able to see at the same time. Oh, there we go. So Walshy, he has been around so long. He is a community tournament demon, but he is actually a name that I haven't seen anywhere for quite a while. So seeing him have this run with Pugsy today is really impressive. And then they're of course going to be going up against Soul and Anime. Anime, another one of those community demons that is just turned amazing, and we keep seeing his placements get better and better with now 5 top 8s to his name and 2 podiums.
Yeah, crazy to think. I mean, especially in twos, I would imagine maybe you haven't seen them that often. Walshy did get a 25th at Trial of Skady, but that was like 3 months ago. So it has been a minute for sure, I think, even in singles for this player. Pugsy did get a 25th at CEO 2024 just last month, so not too bad. And then what do you have to say about Soul and Anime?
I mean, Soul, he's I don't know a whole lot. He is power rank 31. We've seen him, play with Anime. They're having a great run. I don't really, just off the top of my head, I can't really think of any breakout performances from him. We do have the one top 8. He does have $350 to his account and 3 top 32 finishes. So he is definitely on track to be able to at least put another top 8 up there, and maybe possibly with Anime by his side, find his way into top 3.
Now, Slow Motion, let me ask you a question real quick while I'm looking at the Legend Select screen. And, our viewers at home can't see this quite yet, but what do you think about, is the J-Yoon real for twos?
I mean, there are some players. Pugsy is one of those that has kind of adopted Greatsword here rather recently compared to some of the other players like Hardy, who just was taken out last round. I mean, players like him have been Greatsword since day one, but I have noticed that Pugsy, as the months go by, he is using that Greatsword more and more, and he's been finding success with it.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, again, like we have talked a lot about this, especially in the Southeast Asia bracket earlier this weekend. But I think like the representation of certain types of weapons that you see in some of these brackets are just gone. Like it's just non-existent, right? Like I was shocked, surprised Pikachu face that I saw a guitar player in South America the other day. I'm like, that's insane. In twos, I'm so used to staff, maybe a cannon, probably a gauntlet player, and that's it. I think that's all I see.
No, the regions, I mean, as a whole, they definitely have their favorites. We went through the Chronix era where every twos team was Cross and Onyx. Players tend to, I mean, there's so much money involved. I mean, players tend to like to play it safe. And when the meta is good for certain weapons and certain legends, the meta is good. And so you will see them continue to try and use that, try to get that little slight advantage. And it does. It kind of waters everything down. You don't get to see the rest of the weapons. And it is nice and a breath of fresh air when somebody locks in on like something like Greatsword.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what it is. I mean, this is, I think, legitimately the first Greatsword I've ever casted in twos. So it should be very interesting for me as I just sit there with childlike wonder of just how is this functioning in a twos format. But I think you pair that with a Kaya, right? Like a good initiator weapon like a bow. You have the staff, of course, which is just great all-arounder no matter what. So I think it should make for a good team. And obviously, like you said before, these two are very, very, very potent players. So...
Oh, for sure. No, and Walshy being able to have that Kaya pick and be able to use that speed and defense to be able to move around the map, be able to maybe take an extra couple of hits, should work out really nice, especially when there's not any huge power hitter legends over on blue team, with Onyx having five attack. And then actually the Wu Shang is going to be on attack stance, which is going to give them 6, but take 1 away from dexterity. So not a whole lot of damage output in terms of some of our other legends like Zol, who, 9 attack, or, Taros, who can get up to 8 or 9. So we'll just have to see how that works out, but I think that Kaya pick may work out for Walshy here. But we're just going to see how this first neutral interaction works out and just kind of get a download this first game, just like these players are going to.
Yeah, let's see what happens right here. A couple of those bridges might be coming through early, but it looks like Pugsy just wants to commit to the skies super quick. But again, I think it's just going to be slow and steady, especially when Pugsy's holding this Greatsword right now.
Oh, well, he's having a hard time getting any of the starters going here. nice little recovery to go ahead and hit his head on the weapon throw there. Okay, we're seeing him get those starters over on the edge guard. Pugsy starting to cook up on that Greatsword a little bit as we see Walshy sending up Soul all the way to the sky. Nice. Pugsy's going to go ahead and confirm that first stock, and that's going to be the second confirmation. I don't think Soul's going to make it back. No options to be found. And just like that, red team finds themselves up at 2 stocks.
Yeah, I think this is already so interesting, right? Pugsy was able to get those huge swings off with the Greatsword, but now you see that swap over to a regular sword, and it's such a huge tempo shift right out the gate. You pair that with Walshy's bow right there. We will see Pugsy go off on the left side on the bottom, but I mean, what a great showing right now from red to start us off.
Yeah, absolutely. Walshy's going to continue to try and tank out that opening stock. And Pugsy, he's one of those players, like, sword is his home. When he picks up the regular sword, you should be afraid because he definitely has this movement with it. Coming back up, Saren back up on the stage, can't find anything except the punish from Soul. Sitting down with that neutral light, going to be punished easily. Dare into Walshy off stage, finally going to confirm that first stock, see what they can do to Pugsy here. The pressure off stage, staying out of the way of the down sig. Pugsy swinging his way back up, get caught in a Sare from Anime.
Yeah, I love the use of the ledge
nice.
cancel right there to really just try to cover as much vertical space as possible from Soul. It wasn't really enough to find it and will get KO'd right there. But I mean, the vision is so clear. Anime to follow? No, it's going to be a little bit close. Next interaction surely finds the KO, especially if it's a team kill. But there it is.
Nice, very nice. And that puts Blue Team down on their final stocks, and that is pretty early. I mean, we are only 2 minutes and 9 seconds into this game, and they are already in a position where they have so much damage they need to make up. There's so much of a differential between these two teams right now. Walshy continuing to put that pressure up in the sky. Soul somehow finding his way through that spear recovery, come back on the stage as Pugsy is now put on his final stock.
Yeah, a little bit reversal there, going for a side air and just gets caught up by that big cannon hit off the top. So we will see a slight lead over for Red still. Walshy hanging onto this stock, now approaching Red. Not going to get the KO just yet, and Pugsy can play a little bit of defense there to allow Walshy to come back. Here we go.
Right there was a great example of that defense from Kaya, because if it wouldn't have been Kaya, that stock would have been absolutely gone. Weapon throw coming out.
Oh no!
Dare. Oh, weapon throw is going to go ahead and get him in the back of the head. A little bit of friendly fire there.
Okay. Everything's
Cleaned it
fine.
up. He cleaned it up great, though. It doesn't get any better. Now he's like, all right, I'll take my teammate out, but I'm going to take everybody else out, too.
Deep breaths,
So,
yeah. You just got to pad the stats eventually. I get it.
great damage output from a Red team. Oh, yeah, we see he hits Walshy. He's going to come back over stage. And
you know
easy
what?
peasy,
I actually think a
lemon
triple
squeezy.
is in my future. So let's get this one right here. Yeah, I mean, Pugsy made it work. Fortunately, Walshy still had the extra stock to play with, so it wasn't extremely catastrophic if it was going to be a forced 2v1. But I mean, what a great start from the Jayun and the Kaya right there.
Oh yeah, for sure. We're finally going to get a little mix-up, a little map difference here. A much smaller room to work with. This is definitely going to be an advantage of a Blue Team because it takes away Pugsy's space to be able to run strings on that Great Sword. He doesn't have the space that he would have on, say, Demon Island or another map with a larger platform, and see, he had to stop. He does not have the room to extend those strings, or at least as much room. I mean, it's definitely still possible. It makes his life a little harder here in game number 2, as we're seeing good side pressure from a Blue Team, taking Pugsy all the way up in the sky. He missed that Sarah coming back down. That would have been huge, though, for Blue Team.
Yeah, and I think that's such a good point you bring up, Slow. Just like Pugsy immediately weapon tosses as soon as the weapon spawns on the right side and says, you know what? I don't like playing with this small space. We're going to find first strike over here onto Anime, but it's looking like pretty deep red or approaching it for Solo and Pugsy, so it could be a response in just a second.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing about Greatsword, too. One dodge read, and if your teammate is not there to support you, that Greatsword can make your entire stock disappear very, very quickly. Anime, gonna miss the Sarah off stage. Nice dodge from Walshy. All the way up to the sky. Not gonna be enough to knock, though. Nice Sarah from Walshy. That turnaround fadeaway Sarah. Gonna go ahead and confirm the stock on Soul.
Really good. I mean, Walshy's still hanging onto this stock. Almost got the BOGO right there. 2 for 1 on that team combo. Gonna break up the action off that GC as well from Anime. So, I mean, Walshy really putting in a lot of good work on this stock. Still staying in it.
He absolutely is. I'm also impressed with the support the Blue Team is giving each other. Even though they're slightly down, and not a little less now, but we're seeing that they will break off to go save their teammate. You know, they'll break. We saw we saw a string coming out from Walshy, and Soul was right there to get his teammate out and break that up, and that is keeping them in here, not letting Red Team be able to push those strings and push that high damage output.
Absolutely. Soul off stage right now. Weapon toss will not connect, but the sweat beads do come through. Soul's able to touch down. What a commitment on the ledge. That was really tricky.
Walshy, I mean, that was definitely a trade. He got the stock out of here, but went ahead and got some friendly fire on it as well. But, Anime. Oh, see that weapon throw coming down from Soul. Stopped Anime's string right there as he had both Red members in his clutches. But now his stock is going to fall. Blue Team technically has a very slight advantage here, which could tie this up going into game number 3.
Yeah, and I think such a big thing that gets, you know, almost overlooked is like the amount of time it takes for a teammate to respawn, especially when you find those KOs. So being able to leverage that into sometimes guaranteed 2v1 combos is so huge. We haven't seen too much of that, I think, by virtue of the Greatsword needing a little bit of time to cook. Oh, as I say it though.
That was nice from Anime. Nice recovery, being able to get Pugsy out of here. And I think we might have a set, Walt, as Walshy fighting for everything he has, but it's not enough. Blue team getting that pass and catch taken care of, and going to go ahead and tie us up 1-1 going into game number 3. Very nice performance.
Very inclined to agree with you, Slow. I think this was like, honestly, tactical Brawlhalla at its finest, right? Like, you just take it to a smaller stage. You know the Jayun is so much weaker, especially when they're holding that Greatsword, of just not having enough room to run around with, not enough space to cook, and I mean, it really did show.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we got no legend swaps. Let's see what map we end up on here. The breakdown. See, not a. It was actually, yeah, it was really close. Even though Walshy and Pugsy put out more damage, Pugsy having 100% accuracy on those signatures, we are going to swap things up for a little apocalypse, and now we have a smaller stage, but we have that soft platform and wider sides to work with.
Yeah, let's see what our breakdown of this next game will be in terms of Pugsy, right? It looks like he went about 56% on Sword in that last game, really opted less for the Greatsword when it was available to swap. So maybe it'll be the same case here. Looks like we're hanging out with the Sword for just a moment, but Anime's going to work on the left side there, Slow.
He absolutely is. He is nasty on that cannon, and they're giving him the opportunity to do that. Being in these 1v1 situations, it'll give an Anime the space to just cook with that cannon is not going to work out well for Red Team. But Pugsy cooking on that Sword right now. We're going to see the pressure, little pogo off of the down air from Walshy, and now both those stocks are gone for Blue Team. But this is the exact same position we were in the last game. Blue Team was able to buckle down and bring it back.
Yeah, I mean, such beautiful coverage by the right side, right? I mean, you have the Spear player that can just kind of sit back, lay out those pogos at any point as long as your teammates there just cover the other bases. So, I mean, Red Team's doing a great job so far. That's the exact positioning they're going to want to be in, especially when they can split off into those 1v2s or just edge guard positions like theirs. Soul's kind of overextending in the center as Anime fights his way back. Let's see what happens here. Big bridge, let's go.
Oh, nice, there we go. And that is going to go ahead and confirm for Pugsy, putting Soul on his final stock. Washing machine coming out from Walshy, gets interrupted. A nice ground pound from Anime, going to send Walshy down to the bottom in a hurry and confirm that stock. And there goes Pugsy out the top. And finally, those first stocks falling off of Red Team. The Blue Team is in a horrible position here. Anime about to fall onto his second stock. Soul slowly working his way into knockout range. The Anime opening up on the right side.
Wait a sec. We got the stock. This is still a set, Slow. Big team combo comes through. Pugsy's already in orange now.
Oh, nice recovery. Going to go ahead and confirm on Anime. Now it's all up to Pugsy, be able to tank out the stock, keep them in that power position as Soul is...
Oh man, Anime's out. Soul is quick to follow though, and that's the tiebreaker game right there. I mean, that was such a quick blowout right at the finish line.
Yeah, they those stocks started falling and they did not stop until the end of the game. Man. It was a very stark contrast between game number 2. Red Team kind of just turned up the heat a little bit, got the job done, and we are going to get another map swap as we go to Small Fortress.
Yeah, I mean, I think the stages have played such an important role, especially when you get, like I said before, like these weirder weapon selections here. So maybe this closer quarters will impact Pugsy here on the counter pick once again.
Have to see he's got a little more space to work with here. Pugsy, first drop is going to be that regular sword. And he's had a very good success with it so far in this set. But getting it, there we go. Now we're taking advantage of those 2v1 opportunities and getting that damage in. They just need to keep doing that, have that synergy, be able to take advantage of the opportunities. That
Wait, Soul's gone. Soul's gone.
Sweat beats. Oh no, that is a horribly early stock, 25-second stock, and that puts Blue Team immediately having to work from behind.
Yeah, I mean, I think just caught up too much in the edge guard, right? It really seemed like Anime and Soul had that 2v1 unlocked. They actually grouped up both Red Team members there as well and got kind of a two-piece out of it. But Soul a little bit too aggressive right there. Really early stock. Hopefully Red Team can hang on to this and close out the set, but Blue Team's got their work cut out for them now.
They absolutely do. That stock finally coming off of Hot Pugsy, though, as Walshy is left all alone trying to fight his way back on the stage against his cannon. Pugsy going down low unarmed to give him a little support. Big unarmed recovery from Pugsy and continuing to get those anti-airs in. Soul dashing away, hiding off stage, getting caught in a recovery. Now his teammate is gone off of his first stock, and they just literally let him fly over the edge.
Yeah. I mean, this is the other side of twos, right? I mean, sometimes you're totally fine sending your opponent who might be red, deep red, off stage and not getting the KO, because look at the way Soul was just struggling to land that entire stock when Anime was getting sent off the right side.
Oh. Soul
Here we
back
go.
in. Oh, the washing machine easily punished. Down signature off of Kaya. Anime up in the air. Okay, now
Ooh,
we're
that's
breaking
rough.
off
Yep.
into slow, steady neutral as the stock from Soul is sent out. Blue team now solidifying their very healthy lead here. It could be Blue team's final game in this tournament. Soul getting a nice recovery, but Pugsy just had too much health in the tank. Sarah's going to end that stock. Now it's 2v1 opportunity against Soul. Can they capitalize on it? No, Soul is going to do a great job staying out of harm's way, letting Anime spawn back in. And Anime just going straight to work unarmed.
And I was going to say, back in the mix and was looking to pick up that weapon as well, but Walshy denied it. So Anime still unarmed right here, fighting their way back to stage. And this is really where this team composition can shine. Look at the way they're just denying the side of the stage here for Blue.
Oh, the sweat beads, and he still was pressing with that Sarah. Pugsy coming up with a nice anti-air off the greatsword. Now blue team is in big trouble. Soul's going to be able to find his way. Pugsy wanted to go over there with that dare, and he got shut down. But that weapon throw is going to decimate his teammate. There's a lot of force off that weapon throw.
As well. So there is an opportunity right here. Walshy will come back. Only one of the red team members is going to be able to pick up a weapon for now, and it's going to be Pugsy. Okay, finally back at equilibrium, at least in terms of weapon.
Yeah, that blue team is in a very bad spot here. They are both in knockout range. That recovery is going to go ahead and confirm. Pugsy's going to reach up in the air with the Sayer. That's going to miss, but that gives Walshy the opportunity to get that those down frames, be able to go right underneath them with the recovery, and confirm their top 8 placement. Congratulations to them.
Look at that. I mean, once again, Soul and Anime. Good run, getting into 9th place right here for Summer Doubles. Very, very solid, but slow. I'm a believer, dude. I like the greatsword. I like the greatsword.
Don't say that. Nobody likes greatsword.
I actually love it. I love it so much. I want everyone
I
to
just
know how
don't
much
like it because
love
I
the
can't
greatsword.
play it. That's not, my brain just doesn't do the buttons and the things. I am an orb one trick for life. Please don't nerf my weapon.
I actually do love orb. I love orb boots. That's my favorite. But
I am a Red Raptor main, so
Yeah.
at this point in time, so yes. But no, great performance from Soul and Anime. There was some breaths of life. Like you thought maybe they were gonna pull it together, maybe they had found the trick to get the job done. And like I said, as soon as that happened, Walshy and Pugsy were just like, no. They put the pressure on. They continued to push the issue, and very decisive win, 3-1 over Soul and Anime.
yeah, 100%. I mean, kudos to them. I really love watching that team composition play. I think I myself am probably going to need a couple breaths of life. So fortunately, we're going to have to throw to a break, and we'll be right back with a little bit more Brawlhalla. So you're not going to want to miss more of these top 8 qualifiers. Keep it locked right here. We'll be back in a few.
Welcome back, everyone. We are back with the rest of your top 8 qualifiers, but I look at what's on your screen. Yes, it is almost BCX time, everyone. November 15th through the 17th. All your friends, all your favorite commentators, all your favorite players, all your favorite devs are all going to be under the same roof for one weekend, and it is an absolute blast. But the thing you guys need to remember, you need to sign up now. You need to sign up right now if you're going to go, because that early bird special is going to end at the end of the month. And that includes, you know, a personalized t-shirt in your swag bag. Trust me, you want it. If you're going to go anyway, just go ahead, get signed up now, and we will see you guys in November.
I feel like a kid in a candy store, you know? Like, this is the first time I get to go to a BCX. I get to hang out with all the Brawlhalla homies. I'm super excited. If I wasn't actually working at this thing, I would definitely sign up early. But unfortunately, I'm quite bad at Brawlhalla, so I don't think that's going to work out for me. If I were to enter BCX, you never know. Maybe there could be a great run here. But we got a good run coming up for our next match here on the North American side of the Summer Doubles Championship. Tell me a little bit about what the next 30 to 40 minutes will be like slow motion.
He called him out in 4K. Okay, no. So we got Raish and Megi coming up, going up against Guu and Sprite. I mean, come on. These are all household names when it comes to North America. Everybody knows these players. Raish and Megi. I mean, if I had to put some money on it, I would definitely say that, you know, I would go with Raish and Megi in this one. They're just so good at this game, and they're very good about controlling the tempo, controlling the stage, being able to slow things down to an absolute crawl if it gives them an advantage to be able to take control. So being able to have that mentality, being able to have that discipline to be able to slow and speed things up in that way definitely makes them a team to worry about. Guu and Sprite, they're just so consistent. I mean, they've been teaming up here lately. We see Guu, they're both up in power rank 14 and 15. They've continuing to prove, have that top 8 finish. No podiums yet, but I really think if they can get past Megi and Raish, today could be the day they get that podium.
Yeah, it's a tough one for sure. I mean, shoutouts, I gotta say, man, Raish on my Red Raptor, it feels good. It feels good to see some representation here finally. But yeah, I'm excited to see this one for sure, if not for the fact that, like I said before, it's a small collective of weapons that I get to see sometimes, whether it's, you know, South America, Southern Asia or whatever. An orb and a boot player, that's crazy. That's insane. I'm super excited. Let's load into game one and see what Guu and Sprite have to offer against these two titans of the game.
Yeah, I mean, Raish, he is just a diehard orb player. I mean, he was on the Petra for the longest, and then just, I mean, as was I, as soon as Red Raptor came out, we both kind of hopped over, and he has not wavered from that legend since. He continues to use it, 1s and 2s, and he is so good on both these weapons. And then having Megi by his side, another very consistent, very, very talented player. They are going to be a menace if they make it back into the top 8.
Yeah, and I mean, I think a big thing, because I did see a couple orbs the other day as well for the South American bracket, but what makes this such a unique weapon in 2s for me is you can kind of choose what tempo you want to play while you have this equipped, right? Like, you can do very simple side-light side airs, right? You just leave it at that. You can get a little bit more advanced if you want. We're going to see the first team combo lead to first strike right there off of Megi, but I mean, like, the variance that you can get off of a weapon like that is just so cool to me.
Oh yeah, and the synergy these two players have, this is not their first tournament together, I promise you that, as they set up the 2v2 combos. Absolutely second nature for these guys, as Megi swapped back over to give Raish the space he needs. Okay, Raish being sent out to the left. Nice neutral sig from Glue. That is going to put a lot of pressure on Megi. But he swapped back over, tried to get that 2v1 against Raish, and it did work out for him as they are able to confirm that first knock on Raish.
That was such good coverage by Sprite there, knowing that Glue was going to be in such bad end lag, going for the GC signature there, to be able to just cover the tracks, because Raish, of course, was looking in there to try to get that punish. Amazing, amazing stuff. Let's keep this one close.
Yeah, and that's what blue team needs to do. They need to keep this close. Do not want to let red team get that momentum. Like we just, oh, nice neutral sig off of the red Raptor. Coming back out with the side sig. Gonna get on the motorcycle one time. Oh, Luke. Okay, drop back down stage. Has that lance. Nice, good 3-piece. Coming back up on the stage, looking for a nair. No, opts to go back down to ground. Sprite able to find his way, has that axe in hand, and yet another Raymond that is not SpongeBob.
I am disgruntled at the very least. Okay, looking for the bounce off the backboard there is Raish with that orb, though. Megi's going to go off stage. Sprite's looking for some edge guard right there. Recovery will come through, but so will the sweat. So there's no follow-up after that. Big swings, though, from Glue. Forces Meg back off stage.
And they both find routes to get back. Raish putting the pressure on, letting Megi come under the bottom, get back up on stage. Ooh, nice nair into Sair. Raish trying to finish up after that recovery from Megi, but couldn't find it. He did find the knockout, though, as he is now on his final stock. Megi in a position now where he needs to tank it out.
Oh my! Glue's just getting his ankles broken while Sprite's getting 2v1 right in the center right there. Glue gets disarmed off of that exchange as well, picks up the lance, but look at Sprite's damage right there. Even with Megi falling, that is 2 healthy red team members.
Yeah, they are very healthy indeed. Blue team trying to get that 2v1 opportunity there. They did get a little damage build up, but nothing significant. Although his Raish is starting to take a little punish here, and that does get him out of here. Megi has a lot of health, and I want you to watch this man work because he is very good in 2v1 situations.
Oh, yeah.
As long as he does not get caught up in the team combo, with they get a dodge read on him and then be able to set up the team combo, Megi has a very good chance of making this happen.
Okay, Sprite gets the action started. Megi's able to just jump out. Yeah, patient play. I've seen this cutscene before, slow motion. That's not going to be a 2v1 just yet, but Megi now has Gauntlet, so has to play a little bit more safe.
And he's not letting blue team split put him in the middle. He's keeping them on the same side, especially the speed off of this Wu Shang, the signature kit off this Wu Shang. He needs to stay out of the way of those recoveries, although it's looking a little more bleak now as they rack up some good damage. He tried to fish out that read in the air. Blue saw it coming, took off out the other direction. Nice recovery, and here we go. Now it's a 1v1 for Megi, and he has the health advantage.
Yeah, and I mean, that recovery on the spear is so dangerous. Off stage, though, there's the lance! Glue closes it out in deep red. It got dicey for a second, but that's going to be the first one on the board for blue team.
That was impressive. Glue coming out with a 633 damage, 3 knockouts. Raish had a little rough time that game. He put out 561 damage, but wasn't able to be able to find those knockouts off the orb that I know he would likely had. And he went out a little early. Leaving Megi there all by his lonesome, having to fight that 2v1 situation, and he just didn't have enough left to get it done. Although he did find, he found that KO right there at the end, but Glue was able to put it down and finish it. So that does give blue team the advantage going into game number 2. We also see Megi was not about that spear at all. It was all about the gauntlets in game number 1.
Yeah. When it mattered the most, maybe, but still quite crossed the finish line right there. Glue and Sprite, first one on the board right here. Let's see if we get a tie coming through into game 2. But right out the gates, quick little 3-piece. Raish going to go to work, though, over on Glue on the right side. No weapon as well, no spawn to be found.
And he is just chasing him down. He's going to swap. Nope. I was going to say he's going to swap over to Sprite, but he went right back to Glue. They are trying to rack up some damage on him very quickly. Megi coming back over, going to reset a little bit here. Neutral, fish out the recovery. Okay, Glue coming up with a nair, keeping Megi at bay. Sprite just stuck over there with that axe, trying to make something happen, but now he's got Raish in his face with that orb sidelight. Sair not going to be enough on these wide sides of Demon Island, but he was in a perfect position to pick up Glue on his way over there to try to save the day.
I said it before, sometimes that is all you need. The old reliable right there coming out of the orb. Raish just wants to get out of trouble in a hurry, but sneaks back in. Sprite is able to find that first strike right there. It's pretty damaged for both members of Blue. Sprite needs to make it back to stage, but Megi just target swaps over to Glue. No target to be found, though. Sprite is coming in on red. Raish wants to put the team on his back for a moment.
That was a nice recovery off the boots, immediately swapping back over to orb, trying to find these knockouts. You have a little more option on the orb than you do for boots when it comes for knockout options. And now he's swapping back over. Now it's time to build up damage. Put the boots back on the feet, Raish. He has definitely got a game plan, and he is executing it here in game number 2.
Okay. Pretty precarious position. We did see Sprite get caught up in the vortex of the 2v1 earlier in game 1, and Glue wasn't able to break up that action, so a little bit of pensive play now. As I say it, you just skateboard right in. What are you doing?
Oh man, he just raw side sig across the stage right to Raish's front door. But Glue is gonna find the knockout on Megi there, the first one to fall after almost 2 minutes. Well, the first one to fall off of Megi rather. Oh, nice dare coming back down the stage for Sprite. Another dare. Trying to play the aerial game. Raish right there, the support, man. That Sair was money, but Raish cut him off with one of his own.
Okay, Glue couldn't find the follow-up off of Sprite's unarmed attack right there. Ray's gonna break up the action with that orb, still throws it away though. Nothing left to pick up here. Glue wants to commit to left side to try to protect Sprite, but now it's Megi and Glue in the offstage position.
And he had the pressure on Raish, and he backed up and let Raish go ahead and come back up, get that weapon, and then ultimately confirm that stock on a Sprite 2v1 situation. They're gonna be able to get the setup. Recovery coming back up on stage, right there for Raish to pick up with boots. Megi hanging high. Okay, I was gonna say, is the ground pound coming? You know you got it. Oh, the pressure on Sprite right now. Raish cleaned in house.
Whoa.
Everybody back up,
Okay,
bro.
everybody chill. Everybody chill. It's fine. Just take a breather, okay? Right,
I wish you
would.
would.
Gonna get hit off the left side right there. Raish finally loses that stock, but I mean, he was going to work right there as everybody across the board falls to 1.
If he would have turned around after that and got more damage off stage, like he literally just said, everybody back up. That was great awareness from Raish to see what was there in front of him, realizing that Megi did not have control of that situation and just taking control of himself.
Big side air from Raish to push Sprite off the left side. Doesn't have enough time to force the 2v1 onto Glue, though, so we return to neutral once again. The dodge comes through from Sprite to try to find an opening, but it's nothing.
It's just so good staying out of the way of those axe aerials. Perfect time dodges. And now, there we go. Blue team out of here, and we have once again find ourselves all tied up going into game number 3. But that was a pretty decisive one. We see Raish picked it up, 661 damage, had 5 of the knockouts. He was not playing around that game.
Yeah, and I mean, pretty equal spread between Boots and Orb as well, about 40 and 45% for both weapons. So, I mean, about what you would expect from a damage spread for something like that. And like you said before, picking up those knockouts especially, that slam dunk at the end was something special.
Yeah, and we see once again Megi just not having time for that spear. It is all about the gauntlets. And we see the same thing over on Sprite. Sprite's like, nah, I'm all about axe. I don't want nothing to do with those gauntlets. So, you know, the players, they want to lock in on what they're comfortable with, but your legends do have like an entire kit, guys. So maybe want to reach into some of those other options and mix things up, because Raish and Megi took absolute control of that game.
Wait a minute, the game has depth? You're kidding. Oh, let's see if these gauntlets come in for game 3. Maybe they'll make a little bit more of an impact for both members of both teams. But Sprite gets caught in the middle right away. Glue can't find that follow-up.
Megi fishing for those recoveries, trying to get an early knockout on Sprite. I mean, if he's going to sit there and hang out in the air like that, might as well get underneath him with the spear. Raish sending everybody off stage.
Should have nothing, yeah,
coming
has
out
to go for the save.
Nice save on your teammate there, Raish. Megi is already at the point of losing his first stock. Blue team is coming out swinging here in game number 3. No, I bet he wished.
Okay. It's a stock trade I think I'm fine with, honestly, but it looked fun at the end of the day.
Glue would have had that knockout if that weapon throw was not in the way. Taking the momentum, bring his opponent back down to ground.
I think Raish looking for the follow-up there from Megi, but gets picked off the right side right there. Glue's going to look to do some land stuff here, but Sprite picks up the action for him.
Oh, Glue reaching. Trying to get down with those dares. Megi coming up underneath, trying to get that recovery read. Could not find it. Dashing over off stage. Sprite coming down to end that exchange. Glue still left unarmed. Could not get down to that weapon drop. Ends the 2v1 combo. Weapon throw came in too late from Sprite and let Raish go ahead and confirm that knockout. And now he's got that pressure off stage. Now he's going to back up, bring it back to neutral, and start things over. Ooh, nice neutral six from Sprite.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I mean, Raish will fall right there, but I have to commend just like the technical proficiency of using those active inputs from the boots to really set up these alley-oop moments for Megi, or know when he wants to just cut them off early and go for the knockout. Really, really amazing stuff. Let's see what the orb brings to play here.
Sprite was cooking there for a minute at the very top of the map, unarmed. Almost had that knockout if maybe his opponent was just a little more damaged. Glue trying to lay down these side lights. Okay, a couple dares back to back, finding their home. Just randomly charging up a side sig in the middle of the stage. That works too. Right there for Raish and Megi to pick up that little 2v1 interaction, get some bonus damage, and they need it. Raish is at the point of almost being knocked out. Megi in a pretty good position, but he is now on his final stock, and Blue has solidified a very decent lead right now.
Yeah, I feel like Glue has just really, or Sprite, excuse me, has really just started to play so well from underneath either member of Red. What a turnaround right there. Megi looking for the ground pound. Not even going to matter. Raish is there to cover up all the pieces.
Okay, now that they're in a little better position, but Raish needs to make sure that he stays out of harm's way. One good recovery off an axe will spell the end of his game, and he needs to be here to support his teammate. Got those boots in hand, on his feet, trying to make something happen here, and a lot of unanswered damage on Raish right now. He's continuing just to be able to kick at will here.
Okay. Raish gonna fall off right side right here. Has to go for the recovery. Sprite looking for the ground pound. Gonna get one, and there is nothing left in the tank for Raish. Megi falling off stage, and we might be slowing things down once again, but you don't even get the chance. There's game 3.
Interesting turn of events in game number 3, Walt. Blue team turning it up, showing that it wasn't just a one-game fluke, that they do have what it takes to take out Raish and Megi, is they now have the advantage going into game number 4. I know Megi and Raish got to be a little rattled. Don't expect any weapon legend swaps off of Raish. I don't know what Megi might do. He does have a little more options in his pocket. Oh, Blue, that pressure with that down stick coming off stage. Nice Sair to finish things up. And we are going to big brain the map selection screen while we take a look at this damage breakdown.
Yeah, let's look through for just
Megi had hands put on him.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't want to say it, but I mean, you said it. So let's go.
100% accuracy on the signature count from the entirety of red team. So very efficient with their signatures. Are we going to Miami Dome? No way we're going to Miami Dome.
It's possible. It's
okay, I was gonna say there's no way.
Come on.
We're going back to Small Fortress Alliance. Red Raptor, Chun-Li, Macho Man, or Rayman. Oh, I'm nervous for Raish and Megi right now. Like I know they can push it to a game 5.
3,
but,
2,
you know, especially in Brawlhalla, you deal with the mental, you deal with the momentum from back and forth from each team. And going off that loss and Raish falling early again, I just hope it doesn't mess with his head here in game number 4.
Let's see if they can close this one out. I mean, the team combos from Megi and Raish have just been so on point, but it really feels like Sprite and Glue have locked in specifically on different dodge patterns, different ways they want to find these reads. Sprite in particular on those recoveries were just so good at finding early KOs too, so.
Glue getting a couple unanswered slings there. Sprite coming in to clean things up. Now Raish is just kind of floating around looking for any opportunity to throw that orb. Recovery is going to be a good safe option to get back up on stage. Use that soft platform to move around here as Glue just throws it out over to the left side and get a punish from a Megi. A lot of neutral gameplay here and not a lot of breaking off except Raidish's first stock again.
Yeah, and I wanted to point that out. I mean, look at the way Raish was playing that first stock. I'm sure we'll see some of it on the replay. But like, it really didn't look like he had much in the way of initiative, and we're seeing it again. He's just kind of hovering over on this right platform. Megi is the one that kind of steps first, waiting for Raish to respond after that, but they're not getting a lot of damage from it.
Raish is not engaging. He's literally just running, trying to catch these little anti-airs. Gonna go ahead and get that confirmation on Sprite. Wait a second, maybe this is a game plan. Maybe Megi just gets rid of the damage, sends him up in the sky, and then Raish can take him out with the recovery.
I think it's definitely possible. Like, it looked like the way Raish and Megi were playing before. Here we go, big combo. But like, being able to leverage those active inputs specifically on the boots, right, was so good with Raish being the initiator in that 2's comp. But with Megi do it, where are they all going? Slow? What is happening?
They're all falling very quickly. And Sprite's on his last stock. Wait a second. Okay, hold on. We have another interesting turn of events here in game number 4. As somehow, some way, it started off so good for blue team, and now red team is in such a good position. As long as Raish can stay out of harm's way. Blue reaching over, Megi trying to get that read again, couldn't find it. Side stick coming out from Sprite, big ground pound. Everybody's got their dodges. Been finishing up with a Sair, more pressure on Megi. Ground pound on Raish, and he's on his final stock.
And that's got to be almost a stock as well if Sprite goes for one more recovery. It's not going to happen just yet. Megi looks for the counter hit, but Glue is there to pick up the pieces. Last stocks here for Raish and Megi.
All right, Glue, it is all on you now to be able to do what you can on this second stock. And they're literally, Raish and Megi are on tournament stocks at the hands of Glue and Sprite. This is just one of those weird timelines that you just don't really expect. Oh, nice there. He's continuing to put pressure on Megi. Raish came down and tried to save it, and I think that was enough to at least get him off of Sprite, even though he didn't, get him off of Megi, even though he didn't find any damage from that interaction. Oh, just trying to set the 2v2 combo, the 2v1 combo. The Sair misses, but they set it right back up, finish it up with a neutral sig.
This is scary, right? And especially the way Raish and Megi were playing this before. That's the stock off the top. It's up to Raish to stay alive in this bracket.
I'm done. The down sig and that 45-degree angle gonna take Megi out of this game, and now is all up to Raish. It is
1v1. It is 1v1. Wait a second.
He is another very proficient 2v1 player, and he's an amazing 1v1 player. But Glue is in a very good position. All he needs is one good swing up the axe, but Raish needs to lock down the weapon starve right here, right now, and do not give Glue any options.
Now we do see, of course, Raish PR2 in North America. This guy is familiar with singles. We're going to see a quick little two-piece, but the recovery comes through. It doesn't get reversal KO just yet because of the unarmed.
Raish is in big trouble right now. That recovery.
That's it. That might be it.
The recovery didn't knock, but now Glue has a weapon in his hand, and he's doing a great job staying out of the way of this orb. Just trying to find the perfect opportunity. Weapon throw coming down. Sair going to come off of Raish's orb.
Reaching.
Ooh. D-Light.
Scary position.
I know. Anything to get the job done here.
And Glue knows it, right? Like, you can see the way he's fishing for some of these recoveries. Raish not giving anything right now. This has been played perfectly so far, Slow. That's the disarm as well, and the weapon starve.
Raish though being sent off stage now. He does have those boots. And power position to Glue. Okay.
Denied! That's it!
That's
it's
it!
a 2v1! Raish clutches it out, stays alive, and forces the game 5.
That is the Raish effect. All 6 knockouts going to my man there. 594 damage, so a lot of cleanup work. Glue, 719 damage. He was putting hands on everybody. But not quite enough there at the end. But fear not, Glue and Sprite have another opportunity to close out this set. But so does Raish and Megi, as we have found ourselves in a game 5. This is a good one.
My man Elmer's with the Glue, dude. Like, the way he was sticking onto Megi and Raish, putting on that damage stick, but it just was not enough. I mean, Raish really locked it down in that 1v2, just played it immaculately, especially being able to take that first stock off of Sprite and force the 1v1, where he really, really thrived. It was just an amazing comeback.
Yeah, he is so good at stage control. He is so good at controlling the tempo of the game. He is just a very unique player. In that regard, the extremities that he has on, speeding things up, slowing things down. Very, very active, aware player, and did a great job in that 2v1, being able to fight his way through, keep his team in this tournament, and give them a huge boost of confidence going into game number 5. He's got to be feeling good.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if they're going to try to adopt that same strategy, because it really looked like Raish was doing so much damage, especially towards the end. Obviously, he was able to close out that 2v1, but so much of it, like I said before, was Megi being the one that kind of threw themselves into both players on Glue and initiated so that Raish could find those KOs off the top with maybe Boots recovery.
Absolutely. Here we go. We're going to just start off in neutral, looking for weapon drops. Nobody trying to go out there unarmed and crazy. Raish is going to be the first one to strike here as he continues to put damage on Glue. But Glue with a nice reversal.
Glue's
and
mad.
He is cooking
Hang on. Okay, Sweat did come through right there. Sprite wasn't there to play defense on the perimeter, but, I mean, that was great first damage there on the side of Glue. Here comes the team combo.
Throw come down. He's going to break up whatever Megi's anti-air was going to be. Nice dodge through the weapon throw from Glue. Raish right picking up the landings. Megi sending them both down.
Brother.
Wait a second. Oh, Sprite, he doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. There's no... Oh! You gave him the options. He's still sweat beating, though. Megi going to find his way back up. Okay. I got a little scary. I don't think they wanted to make that trade, really. But Megi did a great job coming back up.
Yeah, Slow. I mean, you mentioned it right before this game started. Is momentum a thing? I think based on how this game has started, yeah, probably. Let's see if Raish and Megi can hang on to this one for a little bit longer. Sprite with the big ground pound's going to get one stock right there. Glue's able to cover the side, so he comes back safely. Now the target's going to go over to Megi.
Glue had as much of a role in that knockout as Sprite did. He did a great job defending that edge, keeping Megi over the right side so Sprite could do his thing over on the left side. Great awareness, great play from Blue Team. And this is so close again. I cannot believe game number 5. And this set's been so much fun because it's been red win, blue win, red win, back to blue. And now, if we're following the pattern, this is red to win. This is Raish and Megi's game. But I think Sprite and Glue are going to do everything they can to try and stop that pattern right here now, as Sprite's taken so high up in the air. His Glue is now trying to find his way over here, but Sprite, with the pressure on Raish, giving Glue the opportunity to come back up. But Megi making the adjustment, coming back over. Nice recovery from Glue. Very nice.
Yeah, and I mean, Sprite went in to try to cut off the angle on Megi, so it was just doomed from the start. As soon as Meg committed to that edge guard, they're keeping this close. Glue and Sprite, I'm approaching pretty deep red in just a moment. Neither one wants to be the one to initiate right now, but here comes Glue.
Yeah, 2 big axe swings onto Raish. Megi going to send him out to the right side, but now Sprite with a lot of force off of that attack as he's floating over here. Okay, Glue's going to be the first one to step up, give Sprite the lane as well. Sprite, a little friendly fire onto his teammate, and that is going to give Red Team the opportunity to go and confirm that stock on him, and Blue Team is on tournament stocks.
Yeah, and this is pretty rough. Like, you almost kind of wish you get double KO'd there, right? Because your respawn timers were a little bit off kilter from one another. It didn't amount into too much damage when Sprite was there all alone. But, I mean, fortunately, they both have a stock left to play with right now. Raish will fall to last. Megi potentially as well. This is a huge off stage. I think you got to commit to it.
Oh, he let him come back up. He went over to try and put the pressure on Raish. Saw that Megi was going to find his way. Went over to try to catch a landing and still didn't pull the trigger on it.
Big hits from Glue. We're going last across the board. Game 5 slow.
Oh no, this is what I love. This is so good. Raish using that platform, boots on his feet, trying to find a starter here. Great string opportunities, big damage output if you can get that dodge read. But Glue is doing such a good job floating around Megi, not giving him any opportunity to take a swing with that spear, coming over with the side light, or the neutral light rather.
Yeah, and I mean, the way that Raish is just patrolling this moving platform right now, it's just kind of like confusing. Sprite and Glue don't know when they're going to be safe from the 2v1, but that's a big hit from Megi. Now Sprite has to clutch.
I don't know. Oh, this is going to be a really rough one for Sprite. Oh, wait!
Wait a second!
Down
Wait a second! No!
That's enough.
Not like this!
He went down. Oh, Sprite went down to confirm it. Almost got taken out by Raish there. Now we're going to see Raish here in a 1v1 situation. The Blue Team did not want it to be this way. I promise you that. Back-to-back recoveries. He might find another one. Down Sig when Sprite comes back up on stage. Neutral Sig. No, went with the down light.
Also plus online right there. Sprite finds the axe. Here's the big combo. Not going to get too much after it. Raish potentially getting it, and he does the clutch out into 1v1. 2 games in a row. That set's going to go over to Megi and Raish.
Wow. Okay, well, we got a lot to unpack here because that was a hell of a set. Sprite and Glue, what a performance. You went up against 2 Titans and almost got the job done. But Raish and Megi stopping them just short of the top 8. And unfortunately, they're not going to be able to put that one on their record as their day is now done. But man, they fought with everything they had, and that literally could have gone either way in game number 5. That was one of the more exciting sets of the day, I will say.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like I need to call a parent after that. That was, just like to unpack a lot of that and talk about what just happened. What an exciting set back and forth. I mean, Raish with the clutch in game 4 was unreal. We really did show how much of a singles, champion this player is. And I mean, to be able to close it out in game 5 as well, all credit as well going over to Glue and Sprite for even making that 1v1 possible at the end. I mean, Glue found that super clutch reversal onto Megi to force it into a 1v1 into game 5. It just came up a little bit short.
Yeah, you take a look at the graph. Those first stocks is what tells the story for Blue Team. Glue being very, very short stock on his first one. Sprite not putting out a whole lot of damage as well on his first stock. Ended pretty early. But we see Sprite holding out, tanking that final stock, making it last as long as he possibly could. But when the end of the game, they just didn't have enough to go the distance to take them out of here. But with that being said, we're getting right back into the next game. And we got Guu and Heo going up against Bunny and Flower. Bunny, she's been playing amazing here lately. Flower also been playing amazing. Guu, the best Linfei player in Brawlhalla. Fight me, I don't care. He's the best. Nobody else can play that legend the way he does. putting him up with Haizo. This is a very interesting team, actually. And I honestly, this is another one that could definitely go either way, Walt. This is either going to be an absolute dog walk or we're going to game 5. There's no in between here.
I'm so interested in this as well. I talked a lot about this with Polly yesterday at the SA bracket. But I mean, like, Katars as a weapon in 2 is also just something that you don't see every day, right? And I mean, it's such an interesting choice of you play the diagonal with this weapon. How do you kind of decide to come in and force 2v1 situations? I'm interested to see it.
Well, that's the thing about Guichibu. There is no Guichibu without Katars. He is Lin Fei personified. As he continues, he starts out with these guitars, trying to get some good aerials here on Bunny. Bunny, she finds her way back down the stage, reaching up with the recovery. Okay, we're just good. Breaking off into neutral here as Guichibu is trying to find a starter. That speed on Lin Fei and that dexterity is definitely an advantage, but he has a no defense. She is a very squishy legend.
Yeah, and you saw it right there. That was almost a KO off the top, right out, just a dainty little hit. Guichibu is going to be hanging out in red, so is Bunny. Off stage right here, Haizo's not going to be able to find too much because wants to prioritize the recovery back towards stage, but traded hits off either side will get a stock going right here.
Yeah, and Guichibu being the first to fall, Haizo being pressed all the way up to the stratosphere. Down Sig and not going to find a home for Haizo, reaching over with the Sayer. There was nobody home. Oh, Flower missing that Sayer coming back down the stage, but now both red team members pushed off stage. Nice ground pound from Flower. Now Bunny, let's see what she can do over on the edge. Nope, Guichibu's just going to fly home. Coming over, find a Dare on his way back down the stage. And that's going to go ahead and hit Flower stock.
Yeah.
Bunny, she might be soon to follow.
Oh, okay.
No
Haizo
pressure.
gives it up, though. Lets Bunny come back. I think that's also just by virtue of Flower coming back off of the respawn as well. Just doesn't want to get caught in the reversal situation from a fresh Flower. But big hits from the Lance will come through. Now they can go to work on the 2v1. Guichibu's sweating a little bit, but there's the guitars in action.
Yeah, could not. He tried to fish out that recovery. The option just wasn't there. Back down the stage, hiding back behind Haizo. This is actually smart. Let Haizo take the aggression here, especially if they're going to 2v1 him. And then Guichibu can just sit back and take those punishments. There we go. Double recovery on Flower. Wait for him to swing on Haizo. Pick him up with that speed and dexterity. There we go. Another 2-piece from Guichibu. Just needs to get those chip shots in, rack up his damage where he can, and for the love of God, don't get hit.
Sometimes it's that simple, yeah, but the chip damage has been huge right now. I'm interested in seeing how Guichibu plays this 2v1, already sent so far off stage, and Haizo disarmed as well. Yeah, Bunny just looking to kind of deny that weapon spawn from Haizo. Might deny the stock as well. Weapon toss isn't enough to do it, but the disarm punches.
Yeah, Guichibu's left all alone. Yes, run away. Run away. Haizo then finally back in, a weapon in hand, and sending Bunny way out off stage. Can she find a way back? She does, right into a Dare from the Lance. Guichibu's going to swap back over, put the
Oh wait,
pressure on
Bunny's
Flower.
cooking. Hang on. Quick little follow-up onto Haizo. Doesn't get to too much. I mean, like you said before, Guichibu on this legend is just so speedy. It is really hard to pin this legend down.
I wonder, because if it doesn't go well, I wonder if we can start getting to later games if we don't see the Queen Nai come out from him, which is literally the slowest legend in the game. So, but I think the defense may be a bit of a worry for Guichibu because he has been, well, I mean, it's actually pretty close, but he is, they're able to rack up that damage and confirm those stocks on him a lot easier than his teammate. Oh, Guichibu, another recovery. Nair. Where that recovery missed, Bunny was in sweat beads. That would have been really bad for her.
Ooh, Haizo not there on the pickup, though. Guichibu's kind of going to work towards the left side, but look at Flower. Quick, fast, in a hurry on the right. That is perfect coverage, and now you have the low defense legend here trying to force the 2v1.
Yeah. Guichibu's got the speed to do it, but I don't know. Blue team are looking very healthy here. On their second stocks. They got a little bit of room to work with as Flower puts in a great edge guard. Guichibu now gets the power position back on stage, and now he's clinging to that wall again. There we go, Nair, easy, weapon throw. The recovery's gonna miss. Bunny wasn't there to catch the landing. Oh no, I don't know what Guichibu can do here.
Yeah, big recovery. I mean, I don't even think you want to swap to Cannon either at that point, right? It's just so committal. Okay, here comes recovery once again, but I mean, these are just very, very soft hits. Will not find a KO soon enough, and Guichibu finally falls. Flower and Bunny taking game 1.
Yes, they did. Guichibu got in a little bit of problem there. I want to see the stat break after replays. Hopefully we have time to see the damage breakdown, because I really want to see if he even used it at all, that cannon on the Lin Fei. He always favors the guitars, and like you said, it's a very committal weapon. And I think with the legends that are on stage here, yeah, 23 damage coming out of the cannon, but I think that's smart in this situation. He needs that speed, he needs that dexterity, and the guitars giving him those anti-air options and not having to commit to those longer active frame attacks from cannon is definitely puts him in a better position than if he was trying to rely on it. Heo going to stay on the Macho Man. We got Bunny being on the Rayman and Flower sticking to that Kaya.
Yeah, and I mean, even from the equipment percentage too, the cannon was only equipped for 10% of that game as opposed to 77 on the guitars. I think we only saw it for that one recovery you pointed out in game 1 where Guichi just kind of sailed his way over to the opposite side of the stage. And that was pretty much it, just throwing it right back over to the guitars, and I don't blame him for it.
I think that dare was the 23 damage, actually.
Yeah.
All right, Guichi finding himself in peril again as, oh no, he broke his way out of it. Heo is the most damaged on the map. Oh, Guichi float down and not being committal here, looking for the perfect opportunities, does not want to get punished. There we go.
Okay.
Oh, trying to overextend it with the neutral, the gravity cancel neutral sig, and a Bunny right there to put an axe on him.
Oh, hang on. All right, we're doing dive kicks. We out here.
He lost the read, though, unfortunately. Didn't even need blue team to come over and break it up for him. Oh, nice snare coming back down from Flower. Wait until those dodges were gone. Guichi with the side sig is going to go ahead and confirm. And nice little team combo there from Guichi and Heo as they opt to not put pressure on Bunny, let her come back up on stage, and just throw a side sig in the middle of everybody.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the level of respect that Guichi and Heo are going for here kind of shows in their team composition as well, right? Like you had said it before, Guichi is kind of wanting to chip in constantly, especially when those guitars are equipped. So that leaves a lot of the work up to Heo to be the one to get the ball rolling here. Guichi finally falling off the left side right there.
Yeah, and, he was, he was the first one to fall in game number 2. In game number 1, he's done a much better job at taking more advantage and making that, at least that first stock, last a lot longer. Ground pound going to get pogoed. Flower looking for an opportunity. Guichi coming right back up. He's holding on to that cannon for a little while longer. I think we'll see that change once that weapon throw goes. Weapon spot comes out. Yes, running right over, saying, "Give me my guitars."
Okay, Guichi target swaps over to Flower, changing dance partners for just a moment. Bunny just wanting to play back for just a moment. What a big swing there on Heo sailing in.
Absolutely, Guichi though trying to come back in with that signature in towards stage. Flower doing a great job staying underneath it. It's being sent back over the left side. Guichi and Heo just putting hands on Bunny over there. She is going to be gone, and now they can swap their attention over to Flower. Flower doing an amazing job though, took no damage off of that, and now Bunny right back in, and she's going to work on those gauntlets.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that has just been kind of like almost the other vertical of what Heo and Guichi would do as a team, right? Is they almost use Heo as bait, where he gets hit so many times, but Guichi on those guitars can find the counter hit quickly enough that they turn that into a team combo off of the reversal. It's crazy to see.
And it's a very good use of the kids that they have available to them. Guichi, though, going to be sent down to his final stock in blue. This is anybody's game in game number 2. Red team did not make a whole lot of adjustments in between, it seems, because we were coming down right down to the wire again. Bunny and Flower playing spectacularly so far into this set. Bunny being sent back, finds her way back in, reaching over with a side light, can't find nothing, get dodged. The Sarah got dodged through. Guichi hanging out on that platform. He's not opting to swap over the guitars here. There we go.
It's a bear, yeah.
Gonna throw that cannon up. Oh, Heo was going over to put that pressure. Flower was right there on him to be able to shut that down. Oh no.
Okay, quick little two-piece from Bunny right there. Flower doesn't want to go for the follow-up on the recovery towards the stage, but there's a big recovery from Guichi, not enough.
No, but some good damage output and a good solid string from his guitars. And that is going to put Bunny out of this game. And now it all comes down to Flower if they are able to bring this to 2-0. Or if we're going to be tied up going into game number 3. Oh, exclamation point starting to come out. Got up there, put a foot on stage. Also caught a D-light off of the axe. Flower, weapon throw up. Being back up on stage perfectly. No, set right up. Going to finish that up with a Sarah. That's going to end Flower stock and going to end their game. 1-1, Walt.
Yeah, I mean, Flower was doing a really good job at kind of navigating that 2v1, at least just kind of chilling out by the left side, not overcommitting or forcing anything. I think it was just a quick slip up off of the GC right there that allowed Haizo to really just find that big hit follow-up, get the game, even it right back up. And we're going to see if these guitars from Guichibu can keep going to work in the way that they were in that last game.
Yeah, he definitely turned up. I think it was really that first stock made the difference. The fact that he wasn't taken out so early. He was the healthiest after those first stocks fell. Gave him the little extra they needed to be able to close out that game. And now we're going to start it all back over, all tied up like those first 2 games didn't even happen. And Guichibu putting the pressure over on the right side, bringing Buddy right back across the stage with those guitars, swapping over to Flower. There we go. Guichibu's getting in the flow state now.
That's right.
Looking really clean on those guitars in the opening seconds.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I got to say, we've improved a little bit. The cannon was used 18% of the match.
Let's go!
Game 2. So, you know, slow and steady. Maybe we'll get closer and closer to like a 30% usage, but it's not looking like that at all in this 3rd game right now. Let's see, Guichibu rolling in once again. They kind of use that disadvantage state off of Haizo in order to turn that into an opportunity.
This Haizo, though, is in a disadvantage as he had both blue players over putting that pressure. And now Guichibu back up on stage. Flower getting a nice little nair out. Sending Guichibu back, trying to pick up the recovery. Guichibu swapping over to a fresh pair of guitars. Nice
yeah, so I didn't like this
Bunny.
one. I'm just going to go to this one looks nicer, actually. I think I'll use this. All right,
Well,
big swing find its mark on the right side. Flower still sitting pretty on the first stock. Things are looking good.
Things are looking very good, very even, actually. As Bunny, though, trying to make things a little less even, getting the Gimp stock on Guichibu. Can she make it happen? There, no. Guichibu finds their way back up. He did take quite a bit of damage, though, putting him in yellow to get back up on stage. Flower is going to send Haizo all the way up to that top 45. Not going to be enough to go ahead and knock him out. That Sarah, though, is going to get the job done.
Okay, Flower's coming back on the respawn. Bunny gets clipped with the weapon toss on the way out, so Flower is on a fresh stock entirely. Doesn't want to pick up the weapon just yet. Unarmed recovery will force Guichibu into the skies, but it's not going to be a stock just yet. Here we go. Bunny looking for something, but not going to get that either.
Oh, and that is unfortunate. Oh, everybody's kind of stacked up here in the center stage. Haizo going to get that Sair. That's going to knock. Now Guichibu left out off stage.
Oh, no.
Flower does decide to go ahead and put pressure with the pogo. Haizo catches the lane and come back up on stage. Great job staying underneath that neutral sig. Haizo, though, had another
the target swap
set
from
up.
Flower. That was so
Yeah.
good, but didn't get the stock on Guichibu.
Oh, no, that was so good. Saving the more damage on Guichibu from that 2v1 situation. Haizo coming back up on stage. Dare's going to miss. That neutral sig is not, though. Ground pound from Flower looking very clean.
And this is the window I'm
2v.
talking about to be
There
able
it
to
is.
try to find that stock. Macho Man a little bit too burly. Not going to get KO'd on the top right there, but next interaction might find it. Big signature from Haizo, though, to get a stock in response. Both blue members fall to 1 stock apiece.
Yes, and they were not able to capitalize on that 2v1 situation. Guichibu, nice weapon throw up in the air, going to swap back over the guitars. Haizo being sent up to that top 45, but he is on his second stock. He's got a little room to work with here. Catching Flower off that back of that attack. Now Bunny being sent down. And another Sair. Another Sair.
Oh, okay, we breakdancing on him, but Haizo was just a little bit too hurt there, going for the ledge cancel into that down signature on arm. Not going to get too much after that, but is on a fresh stock right here. Guichibu's was sweating before. Yeah, has to go for the save, and Haizo misses it.
That is unfortunate for Red Team, as it is now all up to Haizo here to be able, but he's got, I mean, he has a good advantage if he can get one of the, oh, wait a second. I was gonna say, if he can get them in a vulnerable position off stage, being able to make something happen here, but now we're seeing the chip damage come away on Flower, from Flower, as he's just putting the damage on Haizo up in the air.
Still opting for the lance, though. Haizo not wanting to go into the skies to combat Flower, looking towards Bunny instead, but it's the weapon denial as soon as you go to pick it up. It looked like a shiny object, but it was a trap all along.
It absolutely was, and we're seeing a Bunny and Flower now extend the lead 2-1, putting Haizo and Guichibu's back against the wall. Like I talked about earlier, I do know he's done it before, and he has not locked in yet. I really wonder if we're going to see the Queen Nai come out. No, we are going to get a drip swap, though. Oh, no, we're not. He was on the Secura last game. So he's going to stick to that Lin Fei. We might get maybe a different map here. from Blue Team. Western Air Temple and Miami Dome still on there for you guys. Oh no, they're thinking hard about it. Oh, we are going to see Miami Dome for the first time in our block, Walt.
Wow, what a treat. What a treat, Slow. I'm so excited.
This map is weird. This map is really weird. It has a very small sides. These soft platforms are in a weird height. This map is really good at mixing things up. And be interested to see if this ends up benefiting either one of these teams.
Yeah, only time will tell right now. But yeah, Guichibu just kind of chilling on the left side. I think I had mentioned it a couple times so far, but just wanting to play almost second fiddle to Heizo, like looking to swoop in just like that. Not able to get too much, but there's Heizo now to get the pickup instead.
That was a nice neutral stick from Heizo, putting on some good early damage. The Heizo is just getting absolutely bodied here in the opening stock as his stock is almost gone. Nobody else is even close to knockout range yet. There we go, side sig from Bunny. She's going to go ahead and clean that stock up. And now Blue Team has started their lead going in here to be able to confirm this set and go into a top 8 to fight against Megi and Raish.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's see. Flower taking a little bit of damage right there. Recovery is not going to do it just yet. Next one might. It's getting close here. Oh, Bunny just gives it up onto Heizo right there. Wants to try to go over to Guichibu instead.
Yeah, it's probably definitely safer option to be able to go ahead and swap, not give Heizo a chance to punish off of that. Guichibu going to send him up, going to be caught on the landing. And Flower's out of here, Bunny's out of here, and now just like that, Red Team has the advantage.
Don't call it a comeback. Guichibu's still hanging out at red, and as I say it, there goes the stock as well. Do they have a window against Heizo? No, just wants to escape all the way to the skies right there. Deny the 2v1. Guichibu's back in action now with that cannon.
Heizo, while that 2v1 situation was going, he had 3 unanswered attacks against Blue Team. Flower laying down the down sig, can't find anything. Bunny being pushed up into the air. Oh, Bunny, great shot. Let's go, girl. Come on now. Great option for Bunny, and there they go, continuing to put the pressure on Guichibu here.
Yeah, and I mean, there are moments like we said, like what is safe and what is quote-unquote correct in twos. So many times I feel like you don't want to overextend in that position, but it just feels so right when you get it correct.
Oh, there we go, another 2v1 the team combo opportunity. Weapon throw to Guichibu's face. Flower gonna swap. No, was thinking about going over to Heizo. We're gonna see a pogo. There we go, down here on top.
Yo, Buddy's cooking! Flower's cooking! It's last stock. Guichibu has to force the 2v1.
We're done.
This is over.
Walt, just go ahead and take a seat, bro. We're done.
That's over. Hey, thanks for watching the vlog. I mean, we had a great time here, but this is going to be Buddy and Flower for top 8, baby?
I have watched Guichibu do some amazing things over the last couple years. Some amazing things. This, however, this is a very tall mountain to climb, especially the way Bunny and Flower. Yeah, the way Bunny and Flower are playing this set and in this game, especially. Guichibu might be able to get it there. No, Bunny's gonna have the option. She gets back up on stage. Guichibu putting some more pressure on Flower, but no, one more nair.
I mean, both Blue Team members still have a stock to play with. So, like you said, I mean, it's not impossible, but it is hard, especially for a legend as fragile as this Sakura.
But he did not take a whole lot of damage on that stock, was able to confirm on Bunny and Flower, and now has got himself in a much better position than it looked about 30 seconds ago or so. Oh, nairing them back down to stage. Double recovery. Wait a second, Bunny.
Hang on. Okay.
Help him!
Help him! Please! Guichibu's cooking now, though. Wait a second. We might have just jinxed this, Slow. I don't know.
No, okay, I don't know.
Wait, I think we jinxed this. I actually think we jinxed this. Oh, no.
I know you work a bunch of titles, but the commentator's curse is very real in Brawlhalla. It's so real in Brawlhalla. That recovery, one more, we'll go ahead and get it done. There we go. Grab to cancel side sig. That's going to finish that up. And a Bunny and Flower knocking out Guichibu and Heizo to move into top 8 to take on Raish and Megi.
I mean, I gotta say, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that appears to be an upset to me, right? I mean, this is such a good win for Bunny and Flower, regardless of the fact that they've made it into top 8 as well, which is just incredible.
I mean, you look at the, we'll have to wait for replays. You look at the PRs, I want to say technically it was an upset. I know Guichibu's PR is really nice right now. Yeah, So Danny Heizo, okay. So Danny Heizo PR 101. Flower being at PR 80. Bunny 17 and Gucci 22. I would say that was actually really even teams.
Yeah. I mean, what a great showing though from Bunny and Flower, really locking it down right there. Good showing from Guichibu and Heizo, of course, but the run's gonna end at 9th.
He almost hit 100 damage on that cannon. He was real close.
It was close. I mean, let's look at the. Unfortunately, it didn't make it to 20% equipped, but I mean, there's hope for next time. We're always looking to improve at every single day. 1% better than the last day.
Absolutely, and that's what it's all about. Guys, side stream's done, y'all. We are out of sets. We are out of games. You guys see the damage breakdown from that last 3-1 victory between Flower and Bunny, Heizo and Guichibu. And it is all going to be top 8 action over on the mainstream from here on out. We got Java Fakey, Balloon Boy Hideaway. We got Experience Zen, Seabass and Truck Stop. Actually, Truck Stop is now an elimination side. The winners finals is already solidified. It is Balloon Boy and Hideaway, Experience and Zen. We got Walshy and Pugsy, Jinx and Wubs. So many great names. It is going to be a banger production over on the mainstream. Walt, did you have fun, bro?
Dude, of course I had fun. I was with you.
Let's
man.
go.
That was great. What a fun time. But unfortunately, like you said, we're done. So, guys, I want you to go kick it over to the main Brawlhalla channel in just a moment. But we want to thank you so much for watching some great Brawlhalla with us on this Sunday evening. It's been a great time. I've been turned down for all. We got Slow Motion, the legend, joining me on the broadcast as well. But I think I'm going to go watch some more Brawlhalla for the rest of this top 8. What do you say?
And absolutely. In chat, don't you worry. You don't got to do anything. We're literally going to rate them. You just got to sit there.
Right
you don't got to click nothing. You just keep watching the screen that is on your monitor, and you will be just fine, I promise you. That being said, I'm Slow Motion. That's Turned Down for Walt, and you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend.